right here.
Right now.
Online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Here we go. Off and running with you on this. What is today? Today is Tuesday of the week. Oh, it's May the 4th. May the 4th. Y'all know what that means. Y'all know what that means, don't you? Yep. Star Wars Day. Happy 4th. May the 4th be with you. All you droids and Wookiees and bounty hunters. What else you got? Skywalkers. Siths. That's a new one, yeah. What are some of the all you Star Wars fans? Hats off to you. I know today's your day. I know it's a big day for you. And to that, I just have one thing that I want to say to that. Chewie. Oh, may the 4th be with you. Some of y'all like Star Wars. Admit it. Go ahead and admit it. Settle down, R2. Settle down, R2. Just we got 3 hours, R2. It's the beginning of the show. All right. It's the beginning of the show. Happy May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Look, let's see. So when did this all start? 1977. Episode 4, A New Hope. That's the first ever Star Wars was episode 4. Came out in 1977. Then The Empire Strikes Back came out 3 years later in 1980. That was episode 5. You confused yet? And then episode 6 was Return of the Jedi 3 years after that, 83. So the first 3 that came out were 77, 80, and 83. All right. When I was just a young whippersnapper. All right, but it was episode 4, 5, and 6. Got it? Everybody stay with me now. And then after that, they waited many years. How long did they wait? 15 years? Close to it. 16 years? And in 1999, The Phantom Menace came out. That's number 1. The first one came out 4th in line. Anybody figured it out? Why? Okay, we started off with episodes 4, 5, and 6. Then we needed to go back in time and cover it in terms of a prequel. So even though it was the 4th one we released, 1999, it was actually the first in the series. All right. I'm stopping right there.
What was George Lucas smoking when?
What was he smoking? All right. So they had episode 1 in 99, but that was a Phantom Menace. Attack of the Clones in 2002. That's episode 2. Revenge of the Sith. There you go, Bill.
Yep.
Revenge of the Sith. Which, by the way, that is the least favorite of anybody out there who speaks with a lisp. Okay. Revenge of the Sith came out in 2005. So episode 1, 2, and 3, 1999, 2002, 2005. Episode 4, 5, and 6, 77, 80, and 83. But we're not done. Because then you had, I've never seen any of these. Episode 7, The Force Awakens, 2015. Episode 8, The Last Jedi, 2017. And then episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, 2019. Yeah, that was 2019. I hadn't seen any of those. Couldn't tell you one thing about any of them. Oh, hey. Okay, so here we are.
And now we have the Mandalorian.
Let me just go ahead and tell you this.
With the baby Yoda.
Okay, so that's where the baby Yoda is in the Mandalorian?
He's in the Mandalorian. Yeah.
But the Mandalorian is different. It's not like a full feature movie, is it?
No, it's something I think they show on Disney Plus.
Okay, so it's an online deal because nobody goes to theater anymore.
Yeah.
So they had to change where they put it. I get it. All right. And then tomorrow is going to be Cinco de Mayo. Let me just go ahead and tell you, the theme music on tomorrow's show is going to be much better than it is today. Okay. Just go ahead and tell you that. Some of it anyway. When I say theme music, it'll be things that I play here on the deal. So happy May 4th. Now, here's the other thing that's significant about today, other than for the Star Wars nerds. I'm kind of one now. As a kid, I liked Star Wars, right? Because I was coming up when when 4, 5, and 6 came out. Stay with me. Is that today is opening day for minor league baseball. Yeah, so your Mississippi Braves, Biloxi Shuckers, people around the Southern League and around, if you got favorite players playing at different parts of the country, they're opening up minor league baseball today. So it's opening day. I text my buddy Chris Harris from the Mississippi Braves like first thing this morning. And he put it on Twitter, but I texted him and said, "Big show! Happy opening day!" And he said, "Thanks." And then he tweeted, "Why is Matt yelling at me first thing in the morning?" And he showed my text, and it's got exclamation points and all caps and stuff. I was just excited for him. You know, imagine you work and you miss out on last year, and now you get to have fans back at the ballpark and have opening day for minor league baseball. I'd be pumped if I were him. No doubt about it. All right, so inauspicious start to the show, and I want to talk playoffs. Playoffs? Playoffs? Yes, Coach. Playoffs. Speaking of playoffs. Talking playoffs. Yes, I want to talk playoffs coming up and expansion. First, though, let me just tell you thank you for being a part of the show. And you can do that one of three ways. You could always come to the studio and see if somebody lets you in. No, don't do that. Just comment on the live stream. If you're watching online, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, comment on the live stream right there and say, hey, or what's up. Sven was the first comment today on Facebook, and he said, hello from freaking cold Germany. It's 37 Fahrenheit in Berlin today. Good night. What in the world? He says, and guess what? We're going to have a first-round pick in 2022. That's my belief. Charles Cross is going to go in the top 32. I think a lot of people actually have him projected to do that. State's offensive tackle, their former 5-star recruit, big-time talent. He's coming along. So 32 over there in Berlin. Yeah, look, yesterday afternoon, I went out and did some exercise and walking around the neighborhood and stuff, and I just loved it. It was hot and muggy and steamy. It felt like it's supposed to feel. But when it does that this early in May, you know what you're going to get, which today is like constant thunderstorms. And it's going to cool off a little bit the next couple of days, but Sven, not your kind of cool off, our kind of cool off, where it's going to get down to 72. The high will be about 72 and sunny the next couple of days. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, so you can be like Sven, comment on the live stream, hit me up there. You can text me, I hope you will. Text me on the Country Pleasing text line. It's 885-ESPN. It's a 601 number. So send your text over there, 885-ESPN. If you need the number itself, it's 885-3776. Bulldog 44 was the first to text today, and he said, Matt, we're doing Taco Tuesday with a twist tonight before they catch opening night of the Mississippi Braves, weather permitting. He's grilling a sirloin that's soaked all day in a mixture of teriyaki sauce, soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, a touch of maple syrup, and lemon pepper seasoning. Cut it up into slivers, add lettuce, pepper jack cheese, diced tomatoes, and top it with some ranch dressing, all in a soft shell. Ooh, sounds great. I do, Bulldog 44, hope the weather does permit you to have opening day for the Braves tonight at Trustmark Park. True Maroon called us all nerds for tipping our cap to Star Wars to start the show. Ernest T. said, happy Goober and Nerd Day. May the 4th be with you, Ernest T. Hogjowl said, congrats to the Lady Razorback softball team winning the SEC championship. They went 40-8 after totally rebuilding a one-win team 5 years ago. Love the Lady Razorbacks. Big time. That is big time. And I'll tell you this, Hogjowl, you know, you get into, especially postseason, you get into postseason SEC softball, NCAA softball, the tournament. It's fun. It is fun to watch. Particularly for baseball fans, because the baseball games kind of move a lot slower. You start turning over there and watching some heated and important elimination softball. It's fun. Hats off. Yeah, Arkansas athletics are really having a nice run. I think you got to tip your cap also to Hunter Urachek, the AD at Arkansas, who came in there and not only righted the ship, but, man, it's like the whole ship. They're all doing well. Any program you look at, they're having success right now at Arkansas. So they're definitely doing some of the right stuff. Okay, and then call me on the Davini phone, Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson, your Kubota dealer. 995-1059 is the number, 601 number, 995-1059. Now, I want to talk college football and the potential that we are going to have, and I think we will have, it's just a matter of time, but the potential that we're going to have a little bit of a switcheroo, an addition to the playoffs. I need some music here. What do we got here? Yeah, there we go. Make you think about a little college football. All right, so they're going to expand the playoff. I think we all know that. My question is what, when, and how many? Those are the things that they are working through. But I want to point you over to an article at Sports Illustrated from Ross Dellinger, one of our very own here in the state of Mississippi. Ross Dellinger, hitting it big with Sports Illustrated. He has an article there, and I think it actually might have come out last night, but it says inside 27 months of playoff expansion discussions and the arduous path ahead. So why would the path be arduous if they're not going to change it? They're going to change it. He says expansion talks have been underway for over 2 years among the decision makers in college football, but the inevitable still looks to be a tedious process with plenty of debate. All right. There's a couple things, even in the sub-headline there for me. If I go with you, look, are you saying that the leaders in college football, that would be commissioners and everybody else, have actually been sitting at the table kicking around the idea of playoff expansion for the last 2 years, like seriously talking about it for 2 years? Well, according to him, yes, is the answer. Well, if you believe that, then it might surprise you, because I think on the surface, a lot of people thought, oh, it's an idea fans are talking about. But the connotation and like the way it, if you follow the timeline and the reporting, you might think that they just recently this year started sitting down and take a real hard look at it. And another year of, same teams in what you're calling your playoff and viewership way down. Yeah, okay. Maybe COVID affected viewership for however you want to justify that. But viewership down for the title game, and you got to switch it up and all this kind of stuff. And a loud cry out there for expansion of the playoff in Division I football. Well, apparently they've been talking about it a lot longer than you and I maybe realized. When I say talking about it, I don't mean just, they have some convention and, Bill Hancock and Greg Sankey cross paths and they stop for a minute. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, we need to get together and talk about this playoff thing at some point. Yeah, okay, I'll see you then. Not that. No, actually having meetings for 2 years. To me, that is significant, and I think it's good for us to know that. There are several things that I think are in this article, without reading the whole thing to you, that I want to point out. And it's thorough reporting. Bill Hancock came out of some meetings in late April and basically confirmed openly, which we talked about it here, yeah, people are in favor of expanding the playoff. And so here's a quote that says, did we take a risk by opening the curtain? I don't think so. People need to know. So in other words, open the curtain and go, we've been talking about it, and guess what? A lot of people are in favor. Well, that's where it came from. It's Bill Hancock. He's the guy who was kind of behind coming up with the BCS back in the late 90s when they started that. Heavily involved with formulating a, 4-team playoff. So you've heard Bill Hancock's name. 3 pieces of information coming out of that. Number one, the College Football Playoff Working Group commissioners, Greg Sankey's in on that, they're looking at exploring models for an expanded playoff. So if you're out there and you've been somebody thumping it, 8 teams, we need 8 teams, and it needs to be this, 5 power conference champions and then 3 at large, or however you've done it, your model is probably one that at least has been discussed, because they're going to discuss them all and then decide what to move on with. Number two, they're saying that those models they've talked about in terms of expansion include anywhere from 6 to 16 teams in a new college football playoff. What's the right number? It can be anything between 6 and 16. That's what they've discussed. Here's the other part of that. Whatever they do, okay, you're hearing a lot of talk about college football playoff expansion. Whatever they do, it's not going to be immediate. It's really not going to be all that soon. The third thing is that they kind of let the cat out of the bag. The playoff will remain at 4 teams for at least the next 2 seasons. So you're talking about the 2021 season and then the 2022 season. At least the next 2 years. Now, so with that said, like, it's not changing this year. We know that. So at the end of this upcoming 2021 season, who's going to be in the college football playoff? What teams? Anybody know? Can you name them? If you had to guess right now, whether you're watching, listening, whatever, if you had to guess right now, when you get to January 2022, who are going to be your college football playoff teams 1, 2, 3, 4? Let me know what you think. Be curious to know what you think. Here's some other pieces of information in this story. The playoff working group. It's made up of 4 members of the College Football Playoff Management Committee. Oh boy. How many committees and groups do we have? Okay, the College Football Playoff Management Committee is made up of 10 FBS commissioners plus Jack Swarbrick, the AD at Notre Dame. It's like they're their own conference. They've been looking at a new model for years, apparently. So that group includes Greg Sankey, from the SEC, Bob Bowlesby from the Big 12, Greg Thompson from the Mountain West, Swarbrick. That's who makes up this playoff working group. Well, Sankey is in on it. 10 of the 11 members of the College Football Playoff Management Committee spoke to Sports Illustrated for this story. Some of them asked to remain anonymous. That's neither here nor there. Others did not. They just spoke openly about this and gave a clear picture, the potential timeline, possible formats, biggest hurdles that they're all facing. And then, personal feelings on the idea of expansion itself. Now, file these numbers away. And Jason and Nick, I'm coming to your responses there. At least 5 committee members, you got 11 of them, remember? At least 5 committee members say that they are pro-expansion. And another 3 are open to the idea. So they're undecided, but they're open-minded. So that's 8 total of the 11. But that would mean there are 3 who either aren't open to it or have already made their mind up they're against it. Well, who are they? Okay, the ones that are for it say that their reasons include diversifying what's recently been a field of the same teams, affording highly ranked mid-major programs an opportunity, and just frankly giving a shot to more power programs. So, if this is going to change after the next 2 years, this is what you can boil it down to. This is the point of me throwing all this in your lap here at the start of this show. So listen up as a college football fan. And I got a couple of other things that I'm going to cover with you here in hour 1, but listen. It's not changing for the next 2 years. So if it changes right after that, it will happen because of these 8 members of the Playoff Management Committee. The 5 members that are already pro-expansion, want to expand, and the 3 that are open to it, may be undecided. If it changes, it'll be because of them. All right? That's why. And their reasoning that group who could potentially change it, their reasoning is this, according to his quotes that he pulled from them. You've recently had a field of the same teams. They don't like it. It would give highly ranked mid-major programs an opportunity, a door open into there somehow. Regardless of what shot they have to beat Alabama, they can at least get in there. And a shot to get into a quote-unquote playoff to more power teams. It's about opportunity. Do you guys remember when this came up a couple of days ago and we were reading the quote where somebody talked about brand damage that occurs for teams and conferences who don't have a team in the playoff? Brand damage. Remember that? Yeah. See, I can't get that out of my head too. So I'll give you my opinion on this next. It'll just be an opinion. But after reading this, I talked to a couple of people, people who are just as interested in it as we are in other parts of the country and other parts of the region. So when we come back, I'll give you my opinion on when I think it's going to change. That is the playoff model. What I think it's going to change to. And then the third thing is I'll give you what I do or don't think the effects will be. Some of your responses on the text line and on the comments about who's going to be in next year's 14 playoff, not surprising one bit. I'm coming to you next. In the Bureau, stick around.
There's a lot of noise.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
For double enjoyment, reach for Beech Nut Peppermint Gum. It sparkles your smile, your breath, your whole sense of enjoyment. Beech Nut Peppermint in the familiar yellow pack.
Jeans do come true. Blue Delta Jeans makes the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world. Let's dive in and see what we have here. Do what I did. Visit BlueDeltaJeans.com. Find your fit. Just for my listeners, enter discount code Matt Wyatt. Just answer the questions. BlueDeltaJeans.com. Answer the questions. Use this code. Use the code. You're going to get a discount. They are the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. New stuff in 2021, including 5G coverage. If you go to their website right now, cspire.com, you're going to see their no bull, which, by the way, I love the Super Bowl ad with the slow motion bull. You're going to see that on the website. But look, they're right. There's been a lot of bull over the years in your wireless bill, depending on if who you were with. And my experience with C Spire is just like they say, there's no bull. I know what it's going to cost me each month. I know what my coverage is the number one coverage in Mississippi, period, the number one network. And they've got 5G phones that are 5G ready. Now, I have the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, got it at C Spire, went and did curbside at my local C Spire location and did the exchange where I traded in my old one, got the new one, and it's 5G capable. And we've got 5G coverage in parts of Mississippi, and it's just growing by the day. So you really ought to check that out, okay? And in terms of the new phones, you got deals going on those as well. Find those out at cspire.com. C Spire, customer inspired.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
A lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once everything, the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wright stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much, but this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy, better buy, better buy Bird's Eye.
Yes, always look for this Bird's Eye Bird, your guarantee of top quality frozen food. And your big Bird's Eye buy this week is Bird's Eye Orange Juice. Easy, you can serve in a minute.
Knocking them out of the park for great sports talk. I'm talking way back. It's the Matt Wyatt Show on 105.9 The Zone.
Yeah, I guess stats aren't always important, but, sometimes numbers can really illustrate a trend or a direction. And then you have to decide if you want to continue on that direction. Like one saying, I heard this on a Duck Commander podcast. I think that's where I heard it. I used to listen to the Duck Commander podcast. But Jace, he had heard it somewhere else, but the saying was, you can't manage what you don't measure. So think about that. The importance of numbers, at least measuring stuff so you can manage it. It's the importance of stats. Does this mean anything to you? Do you have a reaction to this? I guess is what I'm asking here. One commissioner during some of these discussions brought this up apparently in the college football playoff thing. He asked a question. He says, do you know what percentage of teams advance to their postseason championship event in an average NCAA sport? The answer is 18 to 25%. In football, it's 3. Okay, so your postseason championship event, right? So if you go basketball, your postseason championship event is 68 teams. Baseball, your postseason championship event is 64 teams. Average other sports, the number of teams that go to this big, here's the championship event, you qualified, you go see if you can win it. 18 to 25% of the teams in the average sports. But for football, 3%. How do you feel about that? Is that a stat that is a little bit too thin for it to mean something? But, I don't know. I tend to think that pretty exclusive. It's pretty exclusive. And I know that we're saying that you don't play nearly as many games in football as you do other sports. Therefore, the regular season sort of is the playoff. I get it. I totally get that approach. Okay. I just think that, well, let me just do what I said I was going to do, and that is get to your comments. When I said, for example, I said, who's going to, they're not going to change it next year. So who's going to be in the playoff next year? Winter of 2022, following up the 2021 season. Who? Nick said, Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, and either Notre Dame or Oklahoma. And then he said, it's the same as every other year. What do you think about that? On the live stream, Sven commented, you know what he said? Bama, Buckeyes, Oklahoma, and did he say Gators? Did you mean to say Gators? So he had a little bit different, but guess what? 3 of the teams that he guessed are the same as Nick. What if we polled 1,000 people who follow college football? In all honesty, just give me an honest answer. What if we polled 1,000? What if we polled 10,000 people who follow college football? And we said, give us your playoff predictions, the 4-team playoff for next year, after the 2021 season. Guess what? the huge majority, overwhelming majority, are going to tell you, okay, Sven, so you meant Clemson. Well, he had the exact same ones as Nick. The overwhelming majority are going to tell you the same as Nick, the same as Sven. Bama, Clemson, Ohio State, and either Notre Dame or Oklahoma. There it is. And guess what? They're right. What if you and I, we know that the 2022 season, not this season, but the next regular season, they're not changing. You're still going to have 14 playoff then. Do any of y'all care to go ahead and guess on that one? Who's going to make the playoff 2 years from now? Ask 10,000 college football fans. You know what they tell you? Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and either Notre Dame or Oklahoma. That's a fact. It ain't an opinion. That's what you get if you poll that many college football fans or more. Triple it. I don't care. That's what you're going to get. Same 4 teams. And guess what? They're right. There may be that fourth spot may go, but you know the other 3. What I'm asking you is, and for these people, why do you think that they are really seriously discussing it? Because the interest of the sport going into the season directly affects the bottom line for everybody in the sport. It directly affects ticket sales across the country. Every athletics department across the country is dependent on football. Let me say that again. Every athletics department around the country is dependent on football. Now, I know there are many that don't play football, and you go, well, they're dependent on basketball. Yeah, well, good for them. But when we say dependent, it's a little different at the schools that don't play football. At the ones that do, all of the sports are dependent on football, with the rarest exceptions. Their bottom line is greatly affected by the interest of the overall fan base going into the season. Their ticket sales are affected by it. And if you start to dull that interest, which, frankly, the 14 playoff has, because it is happening at the same time that we're at a point in the history of college football where there really is no level playing field in terms of recruiting. Okay, there really is no, major enforcement model going on out there in recruiting. And so the rich are getting richer. They just are. It's a fact. I'm not saying like right, wrong. I'm saying that's just a fact. You see it, I see it. So to their credit, they're trying to be proactive and they have recognized a problem. They do have a problem. Now, here's what I think is going to happen. You're going to have a 14 playoff for the 2021 season. You're going to have a 14 playoff for 2022. It's not changing that quickly. But beginning with the 2023 season, you'll have a different playoff model. And I do believe that it'll be shy of going to a 16-team playoff model. You've heard those quotes over the last 2-3 weeks. We talked about them here on the show. People saying there seems to be support for some 12-team model. There's some 12-team model out there they've kicked around that apparently they really like that involves some buys, a week off or so for X number of teams so they can get the right number of teams in it and move toward getting 2 teams to play for a championship. Yeah, and because if you just go 12 games and everybody plays, well, you can't get down to 1. The math won't work, right? So we're talking about buys and days off for certain seeds and that kind of stuff. But it's going to be somewhere. It's not going to be 16 when they go to it in 2023. My thought is that when they change it, after they've worked through all these models, they'll go kind of the conservative route, and the initial expansion will go to 8 teams. I don't know how they'll go about putting those in there, but I think it'll just double from 4 to 8. It will expand probably to 1 more weekend, 2 more weekends, depending on how they put it on the schedule. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think it will happen for the 2023 season. I'm certainly not the only one feeling that. It's not just an original thought on my part. So go ahead and write it down in pencil. You can put my name by it. Here's the other thing. What effect is it going to have? What effect is it going to have? it's going to have two major effects that will be talked about and felt in one shape, form, or fashion. One is good, one is bad. Number one, the same teams are going to continue to win. Certainly initially when they expand the playoff. It will still be Alabama in the title game. Why? Because they will have the players. It will still be Clemson in the title game or Ohio State. Why? Because they will have the players. Watch the draft. It ain't changing that quickly. Even upon the announcement of an expanded playoff, it's not going to kick anything into effect initially. So remember that way back here then, I'm telling you, they're going to expand it. When they do, there will be great excitement. But then there will be this blowback when the first year they have an expanded playoff, Alabama wins it again. If it ain't Alabama, it will be Clemson. And if it isn't Clemson, it will be Ohio State. Mark it down. Even for the first 2 to 3 years of the expanded playoff, that's what will happen, and there will be blowback for it. But this side of that, before you even get to that championship round, when they announce it, an effect will be great excitement, up in arms. 1 million articles will be written about the fact that now UCF, even though they're not in a power conference, if they go undefeated in the AAC, they'll get a shot to play with the big boys. Cincinnati, if they do what they did last year, they go undefeated, they'll get a shot. This time when they play Georgia, instead of it being, air quotes, the Peach Bowl, a New Year's Six game, you still got a wall between you and the playoff. This time there will be no wall. It'll be actually a part of the playoff. You'll be playing Georgia in what is like the Peach Bowl. And their fan base will feel like they have a legitimate shot. That's what they're trying to get to. And the purpose of this, I think they understand. Without some major change in the recruitment model, maybe name, image, and likeness will be it by then, but I kind of doubt it, then the same teams are going to ultimately be standing at the end winning it. They understand that. But they know the overall excitement of fan bases going into the year will greatly affect the bottom line. It'll affect the TV ratings. It'll affect the merchandise sales. Everything. The subscriptions to websites and streaming services. And that's why they're going to change it as soon as 2023. Hour 2 coming up. Stick around.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We are about to have a fire and cook some sausage. A country pleasing sausage is outstanding. Whether you cook it over a fire or in the house, cook some of this right here. It's green onion flavor, you see that? But this right here is my favorite, the maple flavor. And this is great for breakfast. It's awesome cooking it in the house because it makes the whole house smell good. Oh yeah. Let's eat country pleasing sausage, the best, hands down. If you go to countrypleasing.com, you can actually order this and deliver it to your house. Country pleasing sausage, hands down, the best. Trust me.
Davini Equipment, Spring Ridge Road in Jackson, Highway 51 in Madison. Hey, y'all, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. New stuff in 2021, including 5G coverage. If you go to their website right now, cspire.com, you're going to see their no bull, which, by the way, I love the Super Bowl ad with the slow motion bull. You're going to see that on the website. But look, they're right. There's been a lot of bull over the years in your wireless bill, depending on if, who you were with. And my experience with C Spire is just like they say, there's no bull. I know what it's going to cost me each month. I know what my coverage is the number one coverage in Mississippi, period, the number one network. And they've got 5G phones that are 5G ready. Now, I have the new iPhone 12 Pro Max. Got it at C Spire. Went and did curbside at my local C Spire location and did the exchange where I traded in my old one, got the new one, and it's 5G capable. And we've got 5G coverage in parts of Mississippi, and it's just growing by the day. So you really ought to check that out. Okay. And in terms of the new phones, you got deals going on those as well. Find those out at cspire.com. C Spire, customer inspired.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Jeans do come true. Blue Delta Jeans makes the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world because they are uniquely made for you and only you. Let's dive in and see what we have here. Do what I did. Visit BlueDeltaJeans.com. Find your fit, design a jean, and before you know it, you'll be addicted. Just for my listeners, enter discount code Matt Wyatt, all lowercase, BlueDeltaJeans.com. I just entered, what I knew about myself. I just answered the questions, and here they are. Nice. Yeah, Blue Delta. Just answered the questions, and they fit absolutely perfectly. They couldn't fit better. So just go online, BlueDeltaJeans.com, answer the questions, use this code. Use the code, you're going to get a discount. They are the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn, and I know that you are going to love them too. Well, look here. As it turns out, this isn't hour 3. Hour 2. It's still hour 1. Bill, I don't know if you noticed. Did you hear me send it to hour 2 at the end of that sign off over there?
I think you did, yeah.
Well, it's just like something I would do. Thinking it's
You're only human, man.
You know what I did?
And it is, may the 4th be with you.
That's it. I need a little 4th. Hey, I did this once, anchoring the sports for the local news station many years ago. We were doing the 10 o'clock news, right, live in the studio. And before the 10 o'clock news started, every night we would go ahead and film these little updates that would air the next morning on the morning show. So we'd film these little things. It might be 9:30 at night, and just say, that's it for, State did this today, and Ole Miss has this weekend. There's your sports update. You got more morning show coming up after this. Stick around. And I forgot, and I was on the set live on the 10 o'clock news doing sports. Did the whole sports cast, and at the end of it, I said, "Thanks for watching. We got more morning show coming up after this." We go to a break, and I think it was Robert Byers, one of the guys there doing the news. He looked at me, he goes, "What'd you just say?" I said, "Well, what are you talking about?" He said, "You just said there's more morning show coming up." I said, "No, I didn't." He said, "Yes, you did. You just tossed it to the morning show. It's 10:30 at night." It's like, well,
You never know what time it is in those newsrooms.
Nope, you never know.
I can remember that.
On that note, you never know when the homecoming queen's going to show up.
Hey.
Hello. Got her Lawhorn Elementary school sweatshirt on.
It's where Elvis went to school.
It sure is. It's also
across the street from the birthplace.
That's right.
Tupelo.
Thankfully, the tornado missed it.
I know.
2 nights ago.
No, I was telling you yesterday afternoon as I was driving around, there was a lot of damage that you and I didn't realize. There's been, a lot of people with some damage.
Yeah,
Glad everybody is okay.
Trees on houses and cars and everything, but it went kind of up through that East Tupelo area. But didn't you tell me there was a tree down or something at the Elvis Museum? They had a little damage,
Well,
or did I dream that?
No, you didn't dream that. That was what the news was reporting that night,
Yeah.
that somebody had called in to report that. I did not drive by there yesterday.
I didn't either.
Or today, so I don't know.
So it's right across the street from the school.
Yeah.
Well, Homecoming Queen is here. Here she is.
And more rainy weather.
Yeah, more today and storms. So the next couple of days are supposed to be
better,
nicer.
I thought it was April showers bring Mayflowers. And it's just a lot of rain since May got here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a thunderstorm warning right now down here.
Do you? Yeah, I was seeing
severe thunderstorm warning.
The radar looks pretty rough coming all the way through.
From Madison and Rankin counties.
Mm-hmm. If you live in the South,
everybody to be safe.
It's just what we deal with this time of year.
Yeah, we do.
It's a part of life. This time of year, unfortunately, severe weather, potentially tornadoes and that kind of thing. So it's good to have a place to go and hunker down.
And should we tell everybody what we do with your MSU helmet? Bill, Matt didn't know.
Do we want to know what you do with
You
that
do
helmet?
want to know because it's very helpful. I don't think Matt had any idea years and years ago that one day his old football helmet would be worn by his daughter every time there's a tornado warning in Tupelo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
She puts it on and sits in the shower and will not take it off until we were like, it's okay, everything's fine. And she's like, are you sure? I'm just going to keep this helmet
I'm
on.
just going to keep it on. And I told her the other night, I said, Mary Lady, when I kept that helmet in my last year when I finished football, I had no idea then that it would be what it would be used for is my little girl would wear it hunkering down in the middle of the house in the bathroom that has no windows and no outside doors during a tornado. And she's so cute when she puts it on.
We'll have to take her picture.
It's
next
as
time.
big as she is, and she tries to put the little chin strap on, but it won't fit, so she holds it.
She holds it up.
You're not trying to say she's getting better use out of it than you did, right?
Hey,
right.
I think so. I think you might be right on that.
Yeah, more important, for sure. That is for sure.
So can I ask my question?
Yeah, what was your
I was
question?
listening to the segment before.
About the playoff expansion
The playoff
in football?
expansion and how you could go ahead and say, oh, well, Alabama, this, and this team will be there. I want to know why it's so much easier to go ahead and say and predict, if you will, who will be in those football playoffs, but you can't ever do that for baseball.
Mm-hmm. Can't predict it, can you?
Well, no.
Not as well.
Not as well. I just wondered why.
Yeah, my theory.
That's my question.
Okay, so the way I would answer it is, baseball is a different sport intrinsically than football because it's so there's no hand to hand in baseball. Football being that it's hand to hand, meaning face to face, shoulder to shoulder.
Right.
Then the whole size and strength and speed thing, which is much easier to quantify on a team or with a player, plays a much bigger factor, right?
Okay.
So that's one thing, is the physical nature. Then, in other words, in football, you got 120 Division I schools. Listen, the 120th school cannot beat the number one school. It's not happening. Okay, Alabama, Ohio State can play the worst team in Division I football, and they can play them 45 times, and they're going to beat them 45-0, 45 times. Football is so much more. It's not predictable. It's linear. Linear is the word I'm looking for. It's like once I know what you are, I kind of know what I'm getting out of you. And if you play one of your caliber, I can't predict the game any easier. But if you play one that's not your caliber, I can predict the game every time. All right, baseball's not that way.
Well, you also said recruiting.
I'm getting to that.
Yeah.
In baseball, you've got 300, basically 299, 300 Division I baseball schools. And the number one school team in baseball can lose to the 300th school in baseball. And it happens every year because there's no hand-to-hand combat. And different players on the field in each game. Every time you play a game, there's a different pitcher on the mound. And he may have a good day, bad day. So baseball intrinsically is so much different. But even a bigger factor, I think, in football, we are seeing in college football in the current model, it is much easier for some teams to overwhelmingly load their roster and create this massive gap between their roster and the other guys. And you just can't do that in baseball. Because number one, in baseball, they're not giving out full scholarships anywhere, period. So that's the number one thing. Number two, there's much more supply of players than there is a demand for them in college baseball. Baseball, played everywhere all over the world, and these baseball rosters only have 27 scholarship players on them. In football, you got 85, on a team. You got 85 scholarship players. The gap that Alabama has created between its roster, 3/4 of their team are 4- and 5-star players. Ole Miss is signing about 3 of those every year. All Alabama's are. The gap between Alabama's and Ole Miss's roster is massive. Look at the draft. The gap between Alabama's and State's roster is a Grand Canyon. Look at the draft. No matter what Vanderbilt or Arkansas does in baseball recruiting, they will never create that kind of gap between them and State, between them and Ole Miss, between them and South Carolina. You can't create that kind of talent gap in baseball that you can in football. So I think that's the long answer to your question of why you can confidently stand here right now. And I know Bama's in the playoff, Clemson's in the playoff, and Ohio State's in the playoff. And then the fourth one, we'll do a toss-up between Oklahoma and somebody. And that's it. Period. End of story. Same thing this year, same thing next year. And it will be that way until name, image, and likeness kicks in for the whole country. Recruiting is way more free and free-flowing in the whole country. Until then, what we have right now in college football is just not going to change. It's just the way it is. Phone calls. So, Bill, help me out. We got somebody called Talking Baseball?
No, it's Yoda wanting to talk baseball.
Yoda talking baseball on line 1 because today is May the 4th, and May the 4th be with you. Okay, is it Yoda?
Yoda, it is. Very much.
Yoda, it is.
Fun I had at game on Saturday. Mad at everyone Papelbon was. Eyes were crazy like choke slam to Bryce Harper at everyone. He was.
Yoda, I didn't know you were a baseball
Drink
fan.
so much. Yes, drink so much Coke in left field lounge. Might have diabetes, I might.
Thanks for the call, Yoda. May the 4th be with you. All right, this time we're going to hour 2, I promise.
Bless your heart. It is
Are you
hour
sure?
2. Yeah. Got to keep him straight, Bill.
I think it is. Let me check the clock. Yeah, hour 2 coming up. Y'all stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
For double enjoyment, reach for Beech Nut Peppermint Gum. It sparkles your smile, your breath, your whole sense of enjoyment. Beech Nut Peppermint in the familiar yellow pack.
Jeans do come true. Blue Delta Jeans makes the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world. Let's dive in and see what we have here. Do what I did. Visit BlueDeltaJeans.com. Find your fit. Just for my listeners, enter discount code Matt Wyatt. Just answer the questions. BlueDeltaJeans.com. Answer the questions. Use this code. Use the code. You're going to get a discount. They are the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. New stuff in 2021, including 5G coverage. If you go to their website right now, cspire.com, you're going to see their no bull, which, by the way, I love the Super Bowl ad with the slow motion bull. You're going to see that on the website. But look, they're right. There's been a lot of bull over the years in your wireless bill, depending on if, who you were with. And my experience with C Spire is just like they say, there's no bull. I know what it's going to cost me each month. I know what my coverage is the number one coverage in Mississippi, period, the number one network. And they've got 5G phones that are 5G ready. Now, I have the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, got it at C Spire, went and did curbside at my local C Spire location and did the exchange where I traded in my old one, got the new one, and it's 5G capable. And we've got 5G coverage in parts of Mississippi, and it's just growing by the day. So you really ought to check that out. Okay. And in terms of the new phones, you got deals going on those as well. Find those out at cspire.com. C Spire, customer inspired.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
A lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once everything, the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wright stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much, but this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy, better buy, better buy Bird's Eye.
Yes, always look for this Bird's Eye Bird, your guarantee of top quality frozen food. And your big Bird's Eye buy this week is Bird's Eye Orange Juice. Easy, you can serve it in a minute. Thrifty, it will save you money. Orchard fresh and delicious.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy, better buy, better buy Bird's Eye.
Now, if you know your oats and want to feel your oats and taste how good an oat cereal can be, well, you'll go for Cheerios. Great way to start the day with really great eating. That's Cheerios, one of the few foods made from oats. The tasty cereal grain everyone should have at breakfast. Crisp and golden as only a toasted oat cereal can be. And nourishing? Why, a Cheerios breakfast gives you the power protein that grown-ups need to help stay in trim and youngsters need to grow on. Toasted oat goodness, toasted oat flavor, a delicious power breakfast. That's Cheerios.
And get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Call 800-414-5943 right now. Call now to find out how you pay nothing for auto repairs. Call 800-414-5943. That's 800-414-5943.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
Time.
It's time to get back to the Matt Wyatt Show. Live in the studio. Online at thezone1059.com and on your radio at ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
All right, so it is hour number 2. Almost said 3.
You almost said 3.
Now I got to turn your mic on there.
What is wrong with you today?
I'm out of it.
You didn't sleep very well. You've had a headache, so.
Yeah, I've been fighting it. Fighting this migraine still. The one I had last night got to be pretty rough. That's no excuse.
No,
Because
wow.
between hour 2 and hour 3, like, I'm awake. I ought to know the difference between hour 2
You do have
and
enough coffee going on over there. And chocolate. Did you eat some chocolate?
I did. I woofed it down real quick. I busted my diet yesterday.
Well, that's okay.
No, it's not. Okay.
If everybody knew how strict, he's so strict on his diet.
Well, you have to be. Otherwise,
No,
it's not a diet.
Just have a chocolate.
No, there are no cheat days in life. You either do or you don't. It's like Yoda said on May the 4th. This is appropriate. He said, do or do not. There is no try.
Haven't you ever heard that phrase? Everybody on the Titanic says, eat the cake. Just eat the cake. Just eat the dessert.
Why? Because you're going to drown?
Just going to go. Yeah, just do it.
Just eat it.
Haven't
Have
you
it.
seen those signs at restaurants? If there's a cute restaurant in Tupelo,
that's pretty funny.
and they have that taped up next to the desserts.
Mm-hmm.
Just eat
what were
it.
those characters' names
Just
in
eat
in the
it.
Titanic movie? Kate and
Jack.
Jack. So Jack, as he's going down, sinking, was thinking to himself, I should have had the cake.
I should have eaten that chocolate.
We're laughing at something we probably shouldn't laugh
No,
at.
we shouldn't. We're just laughing at the movie, not at the
Right.
actual
Well,
event.
laugh at me.
At
It
the
is
actual
hour
event.
2.
Yeah.
It is not hour 3. Let's set the record straight. And let's also set it straight over here that this show is really supposed to be one where you can be a part of the show and make it your show. Feel free to comment on the live stream, text me or call me. Text me on the Country Pleasing text line. It's 885-ESPN or 885-3776. Call me on the Davini phone. Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson, your Kubota dealer, the oldest Kubota dealer in the U.S. In fact, they've been doing it better longer than anyone else. That's at Davini. On the live stream, Sven said, is this HQ in the background? Hello, Mrs. Wyatt.
Hello.
Saints fan SB09 said, why is Landon Sims not ranked on strikeouts per 9 innings? I would think that he'd be number 1. Team rank has state number 1. I saw that graphic they put out yesterday, Saints fan. State leads the country in strikeouts per 9 innings with like 12 something. I don't know why, or what their criteria is, how they do people. How they put people on the list is what I'm trying to say. It has to be something about the number of innings thrown or those kinds of things. It has to be. But I haven't looked it up, so I can't give you a definitive answer on it. Mansplain on the Country Pleasing text line says, Matt, the Homecoming Queen needs her own podcast. Her voice is so soothing.
Oh, that's so nice.
Said she could just read the bedtime stories or do a cooking show.
Well, you probably wouldn't want me to do a cooking show because I'm not really that great of a cook. Right, Matt? I'm okay. I'm good at a few things.
You do really, really well at the things you make.
Yeah. Good answer.
But here's what.
I like to bake. I like to do,
Yeah.
I'm not a really great everyday cook, but I have a few good things.
Mansplain, we had this idea. All right, so Annabeth and her dad are like opposite personalities.
He's a great cook, too.
He's a great cook. And
chef.
It would be a great show to have those two in the kitchen.
It would be funny.
Together, trying to cooperate to make something.
Yeah, yeah. He's a big guy. He's like Matt. He's like 6'5".
Yeah.
Everybody, and his nickname is Winky.
Yeah. And other people have told me he looks like the Godfather.
Yeah, he does. And here's
the thing about
no
Winky.
nonsense.
He's no nonsense. He's going to do it his way.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's going to be done his way.
There's no other way.
And like he's no nonsense. He'll laugh, but in certain scenarios, he's no nonsense. Like something really funny could happen, and he goes like this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's his really funny laughter. in certain scenarios is he just goes, that's it.
That's it.
And you know it was good.
Yeah.
If you don't even get that, it's like it's up in the air. But anyway, you two in the kitchen together
could be
doing a
funny.
show.
It could be funny.
Because here's what
it might
y'all
be
need to-
bad though. It might have to really be edited. There'd be a lot of fighting.
A lot of fighting, because that's the thing that y'all need to know about Annabeth is her dad is, it's his way. Annabeth is hard-headed.
It may be.
She's not going to be told what to do. She's not going to be influenced on how to do it.
Probably not.
She's got an idea how she's going to do it. That's just what she's going to do.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Don't be telling her.
Stay in your lane, Bill. Bill, I love
Don't
it.
be telling her how she ought to do this or that, or she needs to change this habit.
Stay in your lane.
Just because it ain't happening.
No.
And she will drive him.
It does drive.
crazy.
It makes him crazy.
And if y'all had to cooperate to do stuff in the kitchen, it would absolutely drive him nuts.
I don't know if even your expertise on the editing software equipment could fix that.
I'm telling you, it'd be phenomenal.
Hey, I'm seeing stuff pop up on social media about all the severe weather in Jackson.
So you've got it right now. What does it say on there?
It just says that it just says severe weather likely, and it's out of 5, it's a 4.
Yeah.
Until what is it? 4 or 5 p.m. this afternoon.
Oh, really? Till 5 p.m.? But that's thunderstorm, not tornado.
Widespread significant storms, damaging winds
Okay.
up to 80 miles per hour.
Ooh,
could have
are you
large
serious?
hail up to golf ball size.
All right, time out. Just hold that right there. Hold that thought. Hey, Bill.
That's
I need your helmet.
Yeah.
You need the helmet.
You really do, Bill. I wish I could give it to you.
If you go outside. No, I was just going to ask, like, I know we haven't ever discussed this off the air, but in terms of severe weather, if it's warnings or whatever, do we have a way that gets out to the listeners? Is it automatically, or is there something that, I guess the reason I'm asking is if you have something in front of you and at any point you need to get it in front of them, then just jump in.
Well, it does it automatically. It's called a EAS system now. It's an emergency alert system.
Okay.
And it's set up, if there's a tornado warning, it automatically goes straight to the air.
Okay.
We don't have to do
That's
anything.
good to know.
I'm
Okay.
watching it scroll right now. It says National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for the following counties or areas. I'm reading this off the thing. Copiah at 12:47 p.m. and it's effective until 1:32.
Okay.
Copiah County's under it right now.
So, so south of Jackson.
So I'm watching this thing scroll.
Yeah.
So I know what's happening.
Okay.
It's in every room in the building.
Okay, great. This was U.S. National Weather Service. It just popped up on my phone. It said Jackson,
Right.
Mississippi.
And I know that we get hail in some of these storms, but I'm sort of skeptical when I hear that because I've never seen it. People
What?
go,
I told you I saw it a few weeks ago.
well, I know, but I'm saying I've never
You
seen
were
it.
on the air. I was sending you pictures. I was in the carpool line. Do y'all remember that?
I've never seen it in
Not-
person is what I'm saying. I've seen it hail at times, little bitty, but people go golf ball size hail
Yeah, no,
or
I've never
baseball
seen-
size. I've never seen that.
No, I haven't either.
I've seen pictures, but,
I've got some in my freezer that's been frozen.
Really?
Just a little bit bigger than a golf ball.
Oh, my word.
That we collected from my yard one year, it's like maybe 10 years ago.
And you still got it? That's
Yeah, it's still in my freezer.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it damaged my roof a little bit, the cars, of course.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Dents everywhere.
Bill saved it for evidence for the insurance
Oh,
people.
yes. Yeah, in case I ever need it again. If we ever have another hailstorm, this is what hit me. Well, 10 years ago.
10 years ago. And it's like wedding cake. You hang on to it and stick it in the freezer.
Just don't eat it.
Right.
Speaking of golf ball sized hail or golf, that big golf tournament's going on this week.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm talking about Copiah County.
Isn't it in Copiah County?
It's at Colin Community
At
College.
Colin, yeah.
Yeah.
I would guarantee that they're not playing golf right now.
I would guarantee you. Over there at Wolf Hollow. It's basically connected to the Colin campus, Colin Community College campus.
I've never been to that campus.
It's a great place. I really like it. They got a great football stadium. Of course, they've turned out a lot of great players. And Coach Davis down there, he's been there a long time. He was the running backs coach at Mississippi State when I was in college, and then he became the head coach at Colin at one time or another. They got a great field facility and everything. But yeah, they had their own golf course right up against the backside of the campus. I have been down there. I've actually played it many years ago, and I remember thinking, man, if I was in school here, because they got a lake also. I'm like, if I went to school here, and let's say I lived in that dorm, okay, and you're telling me I got a golf course I can walk to, right? It's here on campus, and there's a lake right over here. I'm afraid I'd have a few too many distractions.
Yeah, you would.
That would be too nice. Jam 2432 on the Country Pleasing text line confirming. He said, yeah, it's going to be messy down here today. Res Dog says, I live on the res, obviously, and it's not raining there right now. Okay. Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled. But see, Matt from Brandon sent us what you were looking at. And, this is just a little bit ago. Yeah. So just like 3 minutes ago, actually. And the radar showed nasty stuff.
Yeah, the radar looks rough, and it looks like it's coming up like this way.
Yeah, so you're talking about over in Louisiana, Arkansas right now, making its way across the Mississippi River. It, what he sent, it hadn't quite done it yet. It's like North Mississippi. It's coming across the river, about to get a real gully washer coming up.
Did you say gully washer?
A real tadpole gagger. You ever heard that?
No.
Frog strangler.
Frog strangler.
Y'all are just full of...
Like the proverbial cow on the flat rock.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't say that one.
Can't say
that
that.
one is out there.
That's going to apply too, Bill. That one.
And if you've ever seen that, you know what they're talking about.
White Denzel said on the Country Pleasing text, he said, Matt, you were talking about the Kentucky Derby yesterday. The rumor is Jaden Wally's family is going to have a horse run at the Neshoba County Fair, just FYI. Now, that is cool.
Wait, what?
All right, Jaden Wally plays for Mississippi State, and apparently they have a horse that's going to run, and they have a race at the Neshoba County Fair.
Uh-huh. I've never seen that race. I've been to the Neshoba County Fair, but I've never seen the horse race.
Look, so I've been there to the fair also.
It's the hottest place on earth.
They have it.
Dirt everywhere. It's so hot.
They have it in July, right?
I think it is July. I don't remember.
I think it is. Anyway, I went one time, and look.
So hot.
And it's dusty. Okay, so everything around there is dirt roads, and it's like that red clay.
Kids are sitting down in the dirt playing. It's just dust.
Now, that racetrack and everything, and those little bungalows, little houses and shacks.
Yeah, they're pretty neat.
It's pretty neat.
It is.
It is July 23rd through the 30th.
I mean, the hottest time you could possibly come.
You know why I know it's the hottest time? Because we got married.
About that
time. And it may have been the hottest day of the year that we picked to get married. It was so hot.
Yeah, and the limousine that picked us up
had no air.
The AC was broke.
It's like, really? Broken. It was broken.
Sorry, it was broken.
It was so hot. I thought, oh, okay, let's get in this limo. Hotter in the limo than it was outside.
Let us out. But anyway, yeah, so that's about the...
we need a report from that horse race. That would be fun.
Okay, so I've seen the track and I've seen the little buggies and the horses, but I've never watched them race, but I saw them there. We did a radio show there one time. And if I'm remembering correctly, I was fighting one of these migraine headaches coming on.
I remember you calling me, and it was,
knowing I'm fixing to get in this car and drive all the way back to Tupelo, and it's going to be bad by the time I get home. That's the way those things work with me. On top of, we're sitting out there, no air flowing, sweating it to the oldies doing a radio show at the Neshoba County Fair.
So hot.
Right, like it's hot. Then you walk away, and everything you have and everything on you is covered in a thin layer of fine red clay dust.
Yeah, it's about as Mississippi as it gets.
You're exactly right. But it's sort of romantic. I don't know how to explain that.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But there's something sort of romantic.
I went years and years ago with a guy who was running for office, and, it's a big political stomping ground. Everybody's sitting there listening to the speeches with their fans, and I remember thinking, I can't do this. Luckily, we had a friend who had a house, and I went and sat in front of a window unit that they had in one of their rooms, and I thought, I'm going to die. It is so hot. I don't do hot. I hate hot.
No, she does not do hot. I like hot weather.
Yeah, you love it.
Yesterday, when it was like getting up there upper 80s outside with the sun out and humid again, haze in the air, and I'm walking.
I just turned the air down.
It just felt so good. I could just stay out there. And then you come back inside and that cold air hits you and you want to put clothes on. or bundle up, I should say. So I like the heat, but we can get excessive heat for sure.
So he's got a horse that's going to be in the
apparently
race.
So.
That's neat.
It is.
You need to look into that.
Definitely. First thing I'm going to do, though, is look into Joey, who's on line 1 on the Divinity phone. Hey, Joey, what's up?
Hey, man, you know the neat thing about the Neshoba County Fair?
What's that?
It is the only one in America. There can be no other Neshoba County.
Yeah, I think
fair.
you're right. I think you're exactly right about that.
It's the only, it's the only county named Neshoba.
Okay.
So there can be no other Neshoba County Fair. It is the hottest, dirtiest, just that Mississippi's giant sweat party.
It is.
And people's right guards taking left turns, speed stick coming to a stop. Everybody smells.
Ain't it fun?
Is this the homecoming
It's
queen
her.
is there today?
Hi there.
I want her to know that it's equally fun to hate Notre Dame as it is Missouri. Their colors are ugly too. I mean, I would never put that green on. It looks like somebody threw up a frog. They're the most arrogant fan base on the planet. The last time they mattered, not one single player was alive. Stop, Notre Dame fans. You're getting on our nerves.
The only thing they've got
Smell
going.
like the Neshoba County Fair.
The only thing they've got going for them is the Rudy movie.
Oh, it's great. Rudy.
Gotta love the
That
Rudy.
is
That's the
that
only
is
good
a-
thing.
That is a good movie, but I wish it could have been about a different school, like one that's actually relevant.
That's hilarious.
That is funny.
Yeah,
Tell us how
I
you
mean,
really feel.
I'm sick of they're living in the past worse than Confederate flag flyers. Y'all have a good day.
Well, and I got to send this one out to you there, Joey. Thanks for your call. Enjoy the Notre Dame fight song, sung by the Notre Dame Glee Club. You got to admit, the scene in Rudy, where he's practicing and they're beating him to a pulp and practicing, you hear this.
It's
this
just
is
great.
Like, get up, Rudy!
That movie, from an early age that I watched it, I have cried my whole life watching it. Every time I watch it.
Do you know the real Rudy is actually in the movie? Makes a cameo?
Yes, you told me that.
Yeah. Good call. He hates Notre Dame. Absolutely
Yeah,
hates
he
it.
does.
Loves the Neshoba County
He
Fair.
agrees that the Neshoba County Fair is full of dirt.
How about, who was this? Res Dog texted.
Stinky people.
Stinky people.
Yeah. Hey, what did he say? Right guard taking a left turn. He said.
Speed tick sliding into a stop.
Slide into a stop.
Y'all are out of control today.
Res Dog said, I competed in the Heart of Dixie Triathlon a couple of years ago. It finishes with a run around the track at the Neshoba County Fair. By far the hottest I've ever been.
It's just hot.
I'm telling you. How about this? A man named Joe texted the show and says, Annabeth, I used to referee your dad's church league basketball games.
Oh, no.
Wow, what a trip. Now, I've
Hey,
heard
he was
Winky
pretty no
stories.
nonsense on the basketball court, too.
I've heard Winky softball stories. I don't know if I've ever heard
Yeah. Well, his
basketball.
His game plan for basketball may have been more of, hey, I'll just stay on this one end. I'm not going to run. They can just throw it all the way back to me.
Oh, yeah. So he just stay on offense?
Yeah, you know.
He ain't playing defense.
Yeah.
He didn't sign up to play defense.
I do think he and a guy from Vicksburg who was a coach may have kind of bumped into each other, and I think he broke his rib.
Really?
Yeah, he's...
Well, look, that may be how they told you.
Yeah,
Let me tell you
maybe.
something.
I don't know.
You don't break a rib by bumping into
They
someone.
had a
Something else happened.
a church league basketball game.
Somebody got out of their lane.
Yeah.
Somebody got out of their lane. We're going to need
Somebody.
more of an explanation on that.
We may have to call him.
You were asking before we came in the air, if we had talked about the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, I
And
wondered if y'all had.
we got into it yesterday. And basically, I went on a rant about all the stupidness and the dressing up and stuff around it. I love the horse race.
And I love the pageantry.
See, Yeah, I mean, it's like
it's just tradition.
Spaghetti. I like the meat. You like the noodles.
What?
Right?
Where did that?
I'm saying
Boy, that came out of left field.
We're different in that way. She's all about she wants to watch the post-game ceremony when they hold up the trophy and they give a speech up on the stage. I'm long gone by that point.
Well, you're an athlete. I'm not. I think maybe most athletes probably don't care about all that.
I mean, watching the horses run around the track is incredible.
It's
that
incredible.
scene from Secretariat.
Oh, it's so
in
good.
the Belmont. It's so good. But it's the horse. To me, if I go to the Kentucky Derby and you've got thousands of wealthy people dressing up like idiots, all in a big pretentious, pompous show of...
Did you say they were all acting like idiots?
Yes.
Well, not everybody is.
What I think is the most interesting person there that I would probably like to talk to is maybe the guy down here training horses, or maybe the guy who's been down there at the Kentucky Derby shoveling horse manure for, 10, 15 years. He's probably got the most interesting story.
I do like to see the winning horse get walked around, after he's done with the guy came down and had a plaid shirt and jeans on. That must be his...
With the roses.
Must be his guy that kind of walks him around just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see that the horse is familiar with.
Yes. And what about the friend horse? You know how they attach him to... that? My mom said that horse never gets any credit for anything, and it calms the horses down.
The friend horse.
The friend... Well, I'm sure there's a technical name for that. Sorry.
But we get it. Anyway, we did cover it.
Well, good for you.
Didn't watch it. Did y'all watch it this weekend?
Yes, we watched it. You were doing baseball.
Yeah, I didn't see any of it.
Now we turn our eyes to the Neshoba County horse race.
That's it. It's a much bigger deal than Kentucky Derby.
Forget the Preakness. Let's go to Neshoba County.
It's much hotter in Mississippi. Hour 2 rolling along. Y'all stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Arrived today. Jeans do come true. Thank you, Blue Delta. Yeah, jeans do come true. That's what the bag says. Blue Delta Jeans makes the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world because they are uniquely made for you and only you. Raw denim jeans, custom fit, hand tailored in Tupelo, Mississippi, my hometown. Let's dive in and see what we have here. Do what I did. Visit BlueDeltaJeans.com. Find your fit, design a jean, and before you know it, you'll be addicted. Just for my listeners, enter discount code Matt Wyatt, all lowercase. Again, that's if you listen to me, you can use discount code Matt Wyatt, all lowercase, and at checkout, you're going to get a 10% discount off your order. So I just went online, ordered them, BlueDeltaJeans.com a couple weeks ago. Went in, I didn't go get measured. I just entered, what I knew about myself. I just answered the questions, and here they are at my doorstep a couple weeks later. Nice. Yeah, Blue Delta. Nice. I'm happy. I've known the Blue Delta team for years, and I'm thrilled to have these guys on as a sponsor of this show. Blue Delta's Virtual Tailor is a fun and easy way to get yourself into the best fitting pair of jeans you're ever going to own. Bet you never thought you'd get a butt shot out of me, huh? How about that? Just answer the questions and they fit absolutely perfectly. They couldn't fit better. So just go online, BlueDeltaJeans.com, answer the questions. It's amazing how they do it. They will fit perfectly. You're not going to find better material and better feeling pants, period, anywhere. BlueDeltaJeans.com. Use this code. Use the code. You're going to get a discount. They are the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. I promise you that. And I know that you are going to love them too. Make sure you use the code. And remember, jeans do come true.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Let me tell you about an ice cream can't be beat.
The very best tasting you can eat.
It's Meadow, 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 Meadow Smooth Freeze Meadow Gold. Go to your ice cream man today, and here's the word that you should say. Oh, give me Meadow, Meadow, Meadow Smooth Freeze Meadow Gold. And remember, folks, Meadow Gold
is mighty good.
For double enjoyment, reach for Beech Nut Peppermint Gum. It sparkles your smile, your breath, your whole sense of enjoyment. Beech Nut Peppermint in the familiar yellow pack.
6 o'clock, dinner time. Thank goodness for Jell-O instant pudding.
Yes, thank goodness for Jell-O Instant Pudding. The terrific busy day dessert you can make at the very last minute. See how quick and easy. Just add it to cold milk and beat it up. That's all. By the time you're ready to eat it, it's all ready for you. Jell-O Instant Pudding, made by the famous Jell-O folks. So creamy, so nourishing, so delicious. No other instant pudding is quite the same. Stock your shelves with all 7 flavors. The good, busy day dessert. Jell-O Instant Pudding.
Back with you here in hour number, what is it? 2. Hour 2 of the show. Y'all give me a call on the Divinity phone, 995-1059. 601 number, 995-1059. Text me in the country, please, and text line, 885-ESPN, 601-885-ESPN. Rhino commented on YouTube. He said, they're not idiots, Matt. They're just pretentious. Yeah, I shouldn't have said idiot. I said they were acting like idiots. The Pirate commented on YouTube. He said, I watched you on the Matt Moscona show yesterday. Great job. LSU fans in the live chat didn't agree with you on the 8 or 9 wins or the fact that State's defense is going to be good. They just don't know. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really... Well, let's see. What's the best way to put it? Well, I could use the line that Nick Saban said. I don't have an opinion on other people's opinion. I have an opinion on mine. And when it comes to State, I know what I'm talking about, and this is a case where they don't. I'm sure many of the LSU fans in the live chat on Matt's show know much more about LSU than I do. So I might want to listen to them. Yeah, State's got a chance to be pretty doggone good on defense, and they've got personnel too. Didn't lose much. Another year under Zach Arnett. Now, healthy or not, it's going to play a big role. But I'm really confident what they have at corner. They got 2 NFL corners. When's the last time you said that? Take me back to the last Mississippi State team. Would it have been? Well, it would have been Slay and Jonathan Banks, right? Slay and Banks. The last time that you had 2, relatively high. Well, both those guys were taken in the second round as corners. But you got that. If those two are healthy, you've got that again. You've got 2 NFL corners, soon to be in the NFL. That's what I think. And then you got a couple of NFL defensive tackles in Pickering and Crumedy. Now, they both still have plays to make and developing to do. You got an NFL offensive tackle, potentially a first-round left tackle on offense. Depending on how the year goes, but he's projected to go highly. So the talent is about to tick up again just because of age and some stuff kind of rounding into shape. So they got players. They got players on defense, depth. There are some players on defense who nobody's talking about who are going to be way better than anybody's talking about. Tyrus Wheat is one of those. Jordan Davis is one of those. Charlton, we'll see how things go for him early. Sometimes guys who haven't played in the SEC and they transfer in there, it might take them a few games to get going. But they got a chance to be pretty good on defense. And to say otherwise, I just don't really know what they're talking about. And in terms of wins, to me, it's a year where it can really swing the win totals could really swing based on quarterback. I kind of almost hate to get out here and publicly, just pile on the pressure for one guy at that quarterback position, but I feel like there's a lot around him. They're going to have a good team around him, and so they'll go about as far as quarterback will take them. I think they're not going to beat Alabama. But there's A&M super duper talented. This may be an Alabama and A&M year. I don't know. We'll see what they do at quarterback. They like the young guy they have. There's some other teams with a lot more talent. So, it's not, I don't mean as far as like go win the division, but 8 wins, potentially 9 if you upset somebody. Yeah, it's definitely possible. You got to take care of non-conference. If you have a hiccup, if you lose to an NC State or somebody in non-conference, then, bets are off and you're trying to make it up. But, everything I said was accurate on his show. The Pirates said LSU fans were also outraged on the baseball scholarships. I don't know why. Says, I would guess because TOPS, the academic scholarship stuff in Louisiana, they are able to give full scholarships to in-state athletes. LSU has and always has had, it seems like, some advantages that other schools don't have. Now, they're still a public school. They still, in terms of athletic aid, get what other schools get, which is the 11.7 athletic scholarships. But LSU has the TOPS program, the in-state scholarship program. They also have the Pelican Promise in Louisiana, which is it's sort of a need-based program. Okay, so kids in that state, if they qualify as students and they come from a household that is below a certain economic level, then they've had access to that money as well to supplement and help pay for their education. Why, the outside conversation right now is how long does the state of Louisiana still afford that? They've had troubles, money troubles, whatever, but regardless, it's still in place. So the effect of that, Pirate, for LSU is they have had an advantage because they could recruit in the state of Louisiana in-state players very effectively without having to offer all of those in-state players very much athletic scholarship, very much of that 11.7, because you got to spread just that. So in the state, they could recruit some pretty doggone good baseball players who a lot of them, would qualify for that TOPS program, the in-state lottery program, to help fund their education at LSU. Some of them double up because they would also qualify for the Pelican Promise. That's more money. So to be able to sign that particular player from Louisiana, instead of having to offer him a 50% scholarship like Alabama would, or even state, LSU can say, we're giving you 25% of an athletic scholarship, the minimum, 25%. But don't worry about it. It's still not going to cost you much of anything at all because you qualify for TOPS and you qualify for Pelican Promise. We'll bring you in. So what the LSU staff has been able to do is just manage it. It's just an advantage. It's not a wholesale thing, but they've been able to, recruit a lot of in-state kids without having to give their athletic scholarships to them and save up on that 11.7 and use that to go out and recruit some better players from out of state. I think that's why you probably look at them and their roster is probably 50-50 or maybe slightly heavily Louisiana, but they've got a lot of out-of-state kids too. But I think regardless of how you get here, look at it this way, Pirate, in regards to the baseball thing. Whether it's LSU and they have certain in-state lottery programs, State and Ole Miss don't have an in-state lottery program. Neither does Alabama. Alabama has nothing. They don't even have an out-of-state waiver program. The fact is they still are all under the same umbrella of the NCAA, who says baseball gets 11.7 athletic scholarships maximum. And here's why. Title IX, financials across the board because a lot of schools can't afford it, those kinds of things. So every fan base has a gripe, the LSU fan base, whatever. Every fan base has a gripe if they really care about baseball in going, well, the only reason that the number is 11.7 is because it used to be 13. That's the only reason it's 11.7. It used to be 13. Well, explain to me why it's 13 to begin with, before they changed it and cut it by 10%. You can't even really explain that other than, well, we did that because you got some schools who play Division I baseball who can't afford, financially to fund the, baseball scholarships. Okay, well then why are they Division I, quote unquote? Questions lead to more questions. One solution in baseball, Pirate, for LSU or for State or for anybody, is to shrink Division I. I don't know if it's the best thing, but what if you shrunk Division I baseball? Instead of 300 teams, you're trying to make rules and things that apply to the number 1 team that also apply to the number 300 team. That's impossible. Well, what if you cut it in half? What if half of that was, quote unquote, Division I? And if you're in Division I, you've said, we can afford it. We want to afford it. We're doing 15 scholarships for baseball, and we're going to balance it out with more women's scholarships and other sports too. We'll pay for that. We'll do it. And that's 120 schools in Division I baseball or something like that, right? And those outside of that have a different division, different tournament. Don't know if that's what's best. It is one possible solution. So in some ways, everybody has a gripe. And I guess in other ways, not. That's a good point. Also, more on the live stream here. Sven said, I expect a 9-win season. I need to look at the schedule, see how that plays out. Because you get Kentucky at home. Got to go to A&M. Get LSU at home. Sven said, we have good weapons, good linebacker, corners, solid offensive line. And he said the question there is Rodgers. He's got to make that next step. The Pirate says, in my opinion, the key games in the schedule to have 9 wins are NC State, LSU, Auburn, and Ole Miss. Right. Let's see. Ole Miss will be in Starkville. Auburn at Auburn, right? Get LSU at home. Play NC State out of conference. So, but whoever's at quarterback is going to have to play well, like you said, Matt, as far as a quarterback will take him. I think it's just kind of the nature of that team and that offense. All right, we'll get to Tommy's phone call when we come back right after this as we get ready to wrap up hour number 2. I'm Matt in the Bureau. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Better buy Birdseye. Better buy Birdseye.
Yes, always look for this Birdseye Bird, your guarantee of top quality frozen food. And your big Birdseye buy this week is Birdseye Orange Juice. Easy, you can serve it in a minute. Thrifty, it will save you money. Orchard fresh and delicious.
Better buy Birdseye. Better buy Birdseye.
Now, if you know your oats and want to feel your oats and taste how good an oat cereal can be, well, you'll go for Cheerios. Great way to start the day with really great eating. That's Cheerios, one of the few foods made from oats. The tasty cereal grain everyone should have at breakfast. Crisp and golden as only a toasted oat cereal can be. And nourishing? Why, a Cheerios breakfast gives you the power protein that grown-ups need to help stay in trim and youngsters need to grow on. Toasted oat goodness, toasted oat flavor, a delicious power breakfast. That's Cheerios.
Let me tell you about an ice cream can't be beat.
The very best tasting you can eat.
It's Meadow, 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 Meadow Smooth Freeze Meadow Gold. Go to your ice cream man today, and here's the word that you should say. Oh, give me Meadow, Meadow, Meadow Smooth Freeze Meadow Gold.
And remember, folks, Meadow Gold
is mighty good.
For double enjoyment, reach for Beech Nut Peppermint Gum. It sparkles your smile, your breath, your whole sense of enjoyment. Beech Nut Peppermint in the familiar yellow pack.
6 o'clock, dinner time. Thank goodness for Jell-O Instant Pudding.
Yes, thank goodness for Jell-O Instant Pudding. The terrific busy day dessert you can make at the very last minute. See how quick and easy. Just add it to cold milk and beat it up. That's all. By the time you're ready to eat it, it's all ready for you. Jell-O Instant Pudding, made by the famous Jell-O folks. So creamy, so nourishing, so delicious. No other instant pudding is quite the same. Stock your shelves with all 7 flavors. The good, busy day dessert. Jell-O Instant Pudding.
All right, here we go. Rolling along with you. Let's click it on over here to the Davini Equipment phone where Tommy's been hanging on for a little while, and I appreciate that. Tommy on line 1. Thanks for calling. What's up?
Hey, Matt.
Hey.
Talking about the Neshoba County Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Thought maybe you might want to put this on your bucket list in conjunction with the Neshoba County Fair. You could enter the Heart of Dixie Triathlon. It starts over at Lake Teocata with a half-mile swim, 28-mile bike ride to Philadelphia, and about a 7 or 8-mile run out to the fairgrounds up and down the hills.
I'm tired.
So you can start working on that.
Tommy, let me just tell you something. Tommy texted in a while ago and said that they did it, and it was the hottest they've ever been. And it's a triathlon, right? So you swim. Yeah. You swim a half a mile, you bike 28 miles, and then get out and run around that track.
No. You run from Philadelphia on the highway about 8 miles up and down hill to the racetrack.
I'm impressed with every single solitary one of those people who do it, whether they win or not. I'm impressed with all of them. There's only I can think of only 1 or 2 creatures that could ever get me to do any of that. A grizzly bear, I'd run like that, I'd bike like that, swim like that from a bear. Or let's say, Tommy, if you were holding a handgun and pointed it right at me, then I'd do my best. Otherwise, I'm out.
Well, let me tell you this. This name will remain anonymous, but there's a gentleman associated with C Spire probably did the thing about 20 times.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. My son did it a couple of times.
So done the triathlon 20-something times. That is so impressive.
Probably.
My goodness. That's impressive.
So we may divulge that name to you at some point.
Yeah, let me know.
Not on the air.
Okay. Yeah, I'd love to know.
Have a good day.
You too, Tommy. Thanks for the call. I'm so impressed with that. And honestly, if it's a sport that doesn't involve a ball, then the triathlon thing seems to me like it'd be the most fun. If there can be fun in just about killing yourself, yeah, because you get to swim and you do the bike, and of course the whole jogging thing, which I don't believe you ought to run unless you're running from something. But if you're going to do one that doesn't involve a ball, that seems like it'd be fun, especially the biking part of it. Hey, can I ask, before I go to Chris, just real quick, this is sort of just, I'm throwing this out there. Why do people who bike recreationally or, for exercise, like real deal exercise and get into it, why do they also dress like they are in a bike race? I'm not passing judgment at all. I'm curious. I've never known. There has to be a reason for it. Is it aerodynamics? We had a group of people that came through our neighborhood the other day. They had like a leader out front, and he's pedaling. He's out front. And then it was a pack of bikers behind him, and I would say it's probably in the neighborhood of 6 or 7. They all look like men, but they were all dressed. What day would this have been? Sunday morning? I don't know, but they were all dressed like they were actually in a race somewhere. The little tight outfits that are brightly colored. And is it so that you'll be seen? Is that what it is? I'm just curious.
They do that a lot on the Natchez Trace here in town.
Right. So you see them. Of course, I see other people that are out riding a bike either for fun or relaxation or exercise who they aren't dressed up like they're in a race. I'm curious what's the difference and why people do that. I just want to know. I want to learn that. Chris on line 2. Thanks for calling, Chris. What's up?
All right, I got about 3 things here, Matt. First thing is I could see the football team going about 3 different ways. I could see them going 11-1 if Mike Leach gets everything implemented.
Mm-hmm.
I could see us more realistically going like 7-4, 8-3. And then I could also see on that schedule where we could win 3 or 4 games,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not the hardest schedule, but I will tell Bulldog fans to realize one thing. Kentucky's not going to be a pushover this year. They're probably the second hardest game on your schedule.
How about that? Yeah, I mean, they're not a pushover. No.
I mean, that's just honest truth. Kentucky is going to be a really good football team this year. So, all right, so, Matt, the second thing I wanted to say was, hey, what if you got Beaver and Brooks and all the people at 105.9 involved, and y'all all did it together? Would you do it then?
Do what?
The triathlon.
Heck no.
Ain't nobody around here going to do that.
Are you talking about?
You know what? You would win out of all them people.
Are you saying all do it, or you say do it like a relay, like one person swim, one person bike, one person run? Or are you saying everybody?
Not like all of y'all do it together.
Yeah, look, let me tell you something. I would expect Jake to make it about, he'd swim about 100 yards and be done.
He can't get his hair wet.
Right, because he's got to keep his hair.
Hey, look, Bo wouldn't even get off the shore. So,
sure.
I mean, Beaver would probably try, but Bo and Chris would be sitting over there breaking everything down.
Chris would have an advantage in the biking category because he has Popeye calves. He's got calf muscles like Popeye. They are.
And so does Beaver.
They're all, Beaver too. I don't know what those guys do, but their calf muscles are way out of proportion for the rest of their body.
Okay, so third thing is I wanted to address somebody that said something about me yesterday. You know what? I want to ask you a question, Matt. Who was the one called you at the beginning of the baseball season and said, "Are you ready to go to Omaha?"
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah, okay. So I've been positive all year, and I still think we're going to Omaha. But see, what they don't understand is the reason why I critique the defense and everything and say what I say about that is that I expect us to win a national championship this year. I don't expect anything less because we have the team to do it.
Okay.
And if they put the cards together right, that's why I say, hey, we can't be going up there and looking like Arkansas in the national championship game and dropping a pop fly and doing something stupid routine. It's going to cost us.
Okay.
We've waited too long for it. And, I mean, our fan base takes a lot of heartbreak, but I think that'd be a real tough one to swallow for us.
So it's all about
something like that
expectations for you.
All right. I mean, I believe that we're going to go to Omaha this year. I felt that last year. I think if we hadn't had the pandemic and all of that, I think we would be number one in the nation and be running away with it at this point last year.
Okay.
And I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, because you
I
have
don't know what other
Foscue
people
and
think.
you had basically what you have now. But you had,
Except for Foscue and Jordan.
Yeah, Westberg at short and Foscue at second base, 2 first-rounders in your middle infield. Isn't that a shame you didn't get to see that play out?
Yeah, it is. And we lost a pitcher, too. Who'd we lose?
Oh, gosh.
God. We
Goodness.
lost 3 of them.
Yeah, who was it? Shoot. Who was it? Why can't we think of it off the top of our head?
I have no clue. No clue.
I can't think of it.
But anyway, what I was going JT Ginn.
That's right. It was Ginn. Yeah, no doubt.
But how about this? You know, I think that if people call me negative, then go right ahead. But I've been the most positive State fan since before, when everybody's going, oh, I don't know what's going to happen this year. I've been telling everybody we've got the best pitching staff in the nation. I still believe that. We've got the best fielders in the nation if they get their act together. And I think we just got the best overall rounded team in the nation. Because we should have took 2 out of 3 from Vanderbilt. Just happened, but we just run out of gas, I believe.
You know what's interesting,
and if
too?
we played Arkansas, and the thing is that somebody asked that yesterday, who you want to play in Omaha? I want to play Arkansas in Omaha because guess what TD Ameritrade Park does? It neutralizes home run hitters in the college game.
For the most part.
They won't be hitting all them home runs, and we have a better base hitting, better ball team all around than Arkansas. Their pitchers are not that great.
Well, and I compared it to Vandy's. I think it was Jay asked me yesterday when we were doing the 5 random questions, and he said, if you had to play Vanderbilt or Arkansas in a 3-game series for the championship in Omaha, who you want to play? And I chose Arkansas because what I said was, I think Vandy has an advantage over anybody in a 3-game series because of their 1 and 2. You know, if those 2 guys hold up, you know, and for the very same reason you said, it's not a home run ballpark out there. But, you know, what's interesting about that, too, is when you start doing the math equation on State's baseball team, Chris, you go, all right, they lead the country in strikeouts per inning. I'm sorry, strikeouts per 9 innings. They lead the country. Is there any other team in the top 5, even in the top 10, who have won as many games and put up as many runs and all that stuff when they're getting no offensive production from the first baseman in their lineup?
I don't think so.
See, that's the thing to
but
me.
I will ask. I want to ask you a question. Something I'm really interested in. They lead the nation in strikeouts, but do they lead the nation in walks? Because I think we have an enormous amount of walks too.
I have to look it up and see. I have to pull the stat up and see what I can find. Good question, Chris. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too, man. I'm going to look up SEC baseball stats. I can find that real quick. It'll just be SEC stuff, but that'll pretty much tell you what you need to know. It's funny, like SEC baseball is a lot like football. If you're leading the conference, you're pretty much leading the country. That's the way it works in football, too. All right, so that'll wrap up hour 2. If you leave us, I hope you have a great night. And if not, I hope you'll stick around for hour number 3 coming up next. Stay with me.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Arrived today. Jeans do come true. Thank you, Blue Delta. Yeah, jeans do come true. That's what the bag says. Blue Delta jeans makes the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world because they are uniquely made for you and only you. Raw denim jeans, custom fit, hand tailored in Tupelo, Mississippi, my hometown. Let's dive in and see what we have here. Do what I did. Visit BlueDeltaJeans.com. Find your fit, design a jean, and before you know it, you'll be addicted. Just for my listeners, enter discount code Matt Wyatt, all lowercase. Again, that's if you listen to me, you can use discount code Matt Wyatt, all lowercase, And at checkout, you're going to get a 10% discount off your order. So I just went online, ordered them, BlueDeltaJeans.com. A couple weeks ago, went in. I didn't go get measured. I just entered, what I knew about myself. I just answered the questions, and here they are at my doorstep a couple weeks later. Nice. Yeah, Blue Delta. Nice. I'm happy. I've known the Blue Delta team for years, and I'm thrilled to have these guys on as a sponsor of this show. Blue Delta's Virtual Tailor is a fun and easy way to get yourself into the best fitting pair of jeans you're ever going to own.
Bet you never thought you'd get a butt shot out of me, huh? How about that? Just answer the questions and they fit absolutely perfectly. They couldn't fit better. So just go online, BlueDeltaJeans.com, answer the questions. It's amazing how they do it. They will fit perfectly. You're not going to find better material and better feeling pants, period, anywhere. BlueDeltaJeans.com. Use this code. Use the code. You're going to get a discount. They are the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. I promise you that. And I know that you are going to love them too. Make sure you use the code. And remember, jeans do come true.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Let me tell you about an ice cream can't be beat.
The very best tasting you can eat.
It's Meadow, 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 Meadow Smooth Freeze Meadow Gold. Go to your ice cream man today and here's the word that you should say. Oh, give me Meadow, Meadow, Meadow Smooth Freeze Meadow Gold. And remember, folks, Meadow Gold
is mighty good.
For double enjoyment, reach for Beech Nut Peppermint Gum. It sparkles your smile, your breath, your whole sense of enjoyment. Beech Nut Peppermint in the familiar yellow pack.
6 o'clock, dinner time. Thank goodness for Jell-O Instant Pudding.
Yes, thank goodness for Jell-O Instant Pudding. The terrific busy day dessert you can make at the very last minute. See how quick and easy. Just add it to cold milk and beat it up. That's all. By the time you're ready to eat it, it's all ready for you. Jell-O Instant Pudding, made by the famous Jell-O folks. So creamy, so nourishing, so delicious. No other instant pudding is quite the same. Stock your shelves with all 7 flavors. The good busy day dessert. Jell-O Instant Pudding.
Okay.
If you love them enough to sit through their favorite boy band,
it breaks in and does it.
All right. So we might, once we're back, we might mention it, I guess.
Yeah, it'll probably be done by the time we get back, but it's broken
Okay.
in right now on the programming.
Okay.
Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Your home
the Star.
Oh,
man, I can't wait for this game.
Baby, you got the home for sports. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. This is WRKS Pickens Jackson. Live
in the studio.
Live and local. This is the Matt Wyatt Show. Talking about sports from around the world and right here at home. Streaming to you at thezone1059.com and on your radio on ESPN 105.9 The Zone.
All right, back with you. Starting off hour number 3 of the show here in the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Bill was telling me that for those in the Jackson area, if you're back with us, we are having tornado warnings, Bill. Is that right?
Yeah, there's a tornado warning now for Scott County. Let's see, it's coming up on the screen right now. Jefferson, Claiborne. Okay, that's something else. That's something different now. But we do have a tornado warning for parts of Mississippi now.
Okay.
And there's Star.
Okay. So really, I mean, it's just kind of coming over, crossing the state line right now. Pretty much what it is. Okay. Hey,
as I see it here again, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, and just a heads up, I got an echo. I can hear myself coming in on your speaker there in the studio. Just letting you know.
Gotcha.
There we go. All right. So if you're tuning in here to us live on the radio here, hour 3, we'll continue to pass along any information we get as it comes in about severe weather in and around the area. So keep it tuned right here, WRKS 105.9 The Zone. Hour 3 of the show is presented by Overstreet Properties in Starkville. If you're ever moving up there permanently or, need a condo, place that's yours when you come into town for ball games or anything like that, or maybe you're going to school there, know someone who's going to go to school, needs to lease an apartment, anything residential in and around Starkville, that's where you want to go. Overstreet Properties. See my buddy Kane, Overstreet. Let me recap a few of the texts that came in to the Country Pleasing text line, and then I'll jump over to the phone. Earlier today, the homecoming queen was here. She's headed off to other activities as I pour the mug full of coffee, hot coffee from High Point Roasters in New Albany, Mississippi. Get your coffee there. Just a reminder, I'm telling you, trust me, if you're a coffee drinker, listen to me. Get your coffee from High Point Roasters in New Albany. Tell them I sent you. You're going to be glad that you did it. HighPointRoasters.com. They'll deliver it right to you, whatever you want. Check it out online. If you need suggestions, hit me up on Twitter. I'll tell you what I'm drinking and what I suggest. All right. But anyway, Homecoming Queen was here. We talked about how I really do need to get on this. I'm going to film a pilot show of Annabeth and her dad cooking things together in a kitchen. It's like, love each other dearly, obviously, dad and daughter, nothing like it. But different ways of looking at things. Different ways of going about things. And both of them are about as hard-headed as anybody I've ever met. In a good way. And not kidding out. I mean, I'm just telling you, getting them together, doing stuff in the kitchen would be hilarious and it'd be good. So Mansplain texted us with a name. He wants to name the show Winky and the Queen. It's got a little bit of a ring to it. Cooking with Winky and the Queen. I think it would work. Mansplain, I really do appreciate the
As
suggestion.
they argue through your meal.
Right. It's right. I mean, you just never know. And like what it is when they do get into it, there's no backing down from anybody. Okay. So it's fun. It's great. Be a great show. Spence in Brookhaven said, Matt, you and the Homecoming Queen are more than welcome to stop by our cabin at the Neshoba County Fair and cool off. He said his cabin is located on the horse track by the starting gate. I would love to do that. It's such a neat thing, man. I mean, anybody who's been, you know what we're talking about. It sounds negative. Mosquitoes, dust, dirt, heat. But it's such a cool thing. It's nothing like it. It's like stepping back in time every how many years. If you've never been there, it's a really neat thing. So we may take you up on that.
We've been talking about possibly doing Jake's show from up there this year.
Okay.
You could do yours, and then we go right into Jake.
Yeah.
I'll be there at the same time.
Well, and we could maybe chat it up with Spence in Brookhaven. He's got an air conditioned.
In fact, somebody's already offered Jake a place to do the show from.
To do it from?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why not? Let's look into it.
Yeah, Jake's checking into that right now.
Okay. Well, tell him to include his sports brethren.
I'll do that.
I'm all for it. Matt and Brandon, we got onto the baseball recruiting subject, and several people talking about that today on the live stream. And then there was an LSU thing, and I kind of went through some of that. Matt and Brandon said LSU spends $5.7 million on baseball, followed by Vanderbilt at $5.3 million. Ole Miss spends around $5 million. He found an article here from DIY College Rankings, and it's how much do D1 colleges spend on baseball programs? It's pretty interesting. Yeah, and I wonder what the spending includes. I mean, expenses, yes. But I wonder if it includes salaries. I guess it does. Salaries and everything, right? Very interesting list, Matt. Thanks for sharing that. All right, let's jump over here real quick, and then I'll come back to the text line later. Line 1, Davini Equipment phone line, Jay in Baltimore. What's up, Jay? Jay, are you there? Well, we may have our bug in our phone line back again. I can't hear Jay at the moment. So give me a thumbs up whenever we want to try that again, Bill, and I'll try see if I can hear Jay. And Jay, if it's just a connection, hit me back. Denzel says, if you and the homecoming queen come to the Neshoba County Fair, y'all are invited to my cabin. We'll feed you all the food you can handle. Gosh, what an offer. Denzel, didn't you hear? I'm on a diet. I have to watch what I eat, man. Like, I got a big appetite. I got to be disciplined. And it's not a vanity thing, whatever. I have serious back problems. And certain activities, like if I go out here and play 18 holes of golf, I can make it through it. But then the next few days, I'm out. And if I'm out, then I can't do things around the house that need to be done. I can't do yard work. I can't play with my daughter, jump on a trampoline, play basketball with my daughter. That's just stuff that's very important to me to be able to do. So where I'm going with this is part of my deal to try to keep some of the fat off is that the slimmer and the trimmer I am, the better my back feels. The easier it is to bend over and stand back up, to get on the ground and get back up, and to have the ability to partake in certain activities with my daughter while she's young. That's another part of the lifting thing. It's not the bulk, it's to and the stretching, the flexibility to be able to be active. Okay, Bill, let's try it again and see.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with Jake there, and I missed you going to.
Oh, okay, that's all it is. All right.
By the way, Jake said he's going to make that happen, Matt.
He's going to make it happen. Well,
he's going to make it happen.
Well, if Jake,
your show, then his show.
If Jake says he's going to make it happen, then it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
All right. Let's make this happen on the Davini phone. Over to Jay in Baltimore. Thanks for getting back on with us, Jay. What's up?
No worries. Hey, Matt, you might find this surprising, but Mississippi State baseball is not my only passion. Cycling is the other.
Oh, okay,
so
great.
Unlike managers in baseball, there's a reason why we wear what we call kit.
Okay.
Look, everybody, no matter what level you're at, it's all functionality, and you can benefit from a nice pair of bib shorts and a jersey. If you know anything about any kind of serious cycling, there's no pads. So those shorts are that's where all your pads are, and even the padding is, and even the jersey has the pockets, and you want them form fitting. So that's why they're out there wearing. It looks like they're out there racing.
I wondered that. Okay, so part of the clothing, and I see people who are like going on, they're cycling not only for exercise, but they're like going long distance. The shorts that they wear have padding built into them. And did you say the shirts have certain pockets, I guess, so you can carry your phone and stuff? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, the jerseys have pockets. Of course, you need to carry spare tube and levers, and of course, phone, money, whatever it is. So there's a lot of functionality to the cycling clothing.
Okay, got it. I like it. Well, I just didn't know. Appreciate the heads up on that, Jay.
All right, Matt. Hey, and by the way, I'm going to be at the Citadel tomorrow night watching the Dogs, cheering them on.
Oh, that's
I'm making my way
great.
down there as we speak.
How far of a trip is that?
Well, it's about 8 hours from Baltimore. So, of course, as you know, then I mentioned last week, I'm going to make my way over to Starkville next week. So we'll see them next Thursday. We'll see them tomorrow night. And I may try to make the South Carolina game Friday night if I'm still in South Carolina.
Well, that's really cool. Well, safe travels to you, Jay. Glad that they're a little more in the area than normal.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Matt.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate the call. Tell you, man, that's dedication right there. But if you live in Baltimore, you're a big State fan, and they come to the Citadel 8 hours away, maybe that's your chance. You figure out a way to go. Yeah. But Jay told us he's going to get a chance to come to Starkville later in the month, and maybe we'll get a chance to run into him there. Cool stuff. Okay. Got it. Tyler was telling me that the cyclists wear it as low friction clothing. Somebody else said if you ride for that length, you really need to dress properly or you're going to have a chapped rear end. Nothing worse than a chapped rear end. That's what I always say. Okay, and Res Dog said, yes, padded shorts and aerodynamics. He got to ride 100 miles with Luke Bryan and Dierks Bentley this past Saturday. That's great. 100 miles, huh? 100 miles on a bicycle. That's great. Riding a bike's just fun. It's just fun. I don't care who you are. It's just fun. We go to a vacation spot every summer that, you rent these places and different people own them. And like some of them already have bikes there. Like you pull up and you just have access to the bike. Last year, the one we have is a big adult-sized tricycle. Okay, now, not the little red tricycle built like that, like you picture a little kid riding. I mean, it's bike, bike tire, but there's two wheels in the back. And so I know that's different. But we had it and it's free. I rode that thing all over the place. It's just something fun about riding a bike. I don't know why I've never decided to bite that off myself here, though, like in my hometown. Buy a bike, start riding it around. I just haven't done that.
Can't be the wind in your hair.
That ain't it, is it?
No.
Obviously. I had a bike in college. Yeah, not the whole time, but for a couple of years there, I had a bike. Rode it all over the place, back and forth to class, back to the apartment, all over the place, and then got it stolen. Somebody just rode up and stole it one day. Gone. That's the way it goes. Anthony from Tupelo says, I know this is Captain Obvious moment, but State's success will depend on the offensive line because I feel like Arnett is going to have the defense humming. I was looking at the schedule. We had questions about State's football schedule for 2021. La Tech and North Carolina State back-to-back at home to start the year. Both winnable. I don't know what NC State has. It seems like they didn't have a great team last year. But, I mean, it's an ACC team that recruits at a relatively high level. They've had a few teams over the last, 10 years that produced several draft picks. So they've had some good players. So it's a pretty good competitive, Power 5 non-conference in week 2, but at least you get to host them in Starkville back-to-back. Week 3, you go to Memphis. It's going to feel, from a travel perspective anyway, kind of like a home game. But I know Memphis will be loaded for bear. They'll really be ready to try to knock off an SEC team. Got to go play them September the 18th at Memphis, and it's a good program. And then come back week 4 and host LSU. So 3 of the first 4 at home. That's good. Before you get into the month of October. First couple of weeks of October are going to be really tough because after hosting LSU, you'll go to College Station and play Texas A&M. And A&M's going to be fairly loaded with players. We'll see how their quarterback comes along. And then the second week of October, I take that back. The second week of October, you have a open date. And then third week of October, you will host Alabama. And that'll just not a game you win, but one that you'll see how you stack up. And finish the month of October at Vanderbilt, and hosting Kentucky. 2 games. If you want to be an 8-9 win team, you got to win both those, period. And Jason in Flagstaff was right earlier when he texted that that's not a walk in the park. Kentucky pretty good. Or was it Chris who said that? And then when you flip it to the month of November, State's schedule is at Arkansas and Fayetteville, hosting Auburn November 13th. The week before the Egg Bowl, they'll host Tennessee State. And then the final week, you will host Ole Miss Saturday after Thanksgiving. So that's the schedule. We have time? We do. A couple of phone calls, Davini Equipment phone line. First up, Jason in Flagstaff, line 1. What's up?
Nothing much. I called to see if my texts were getting through because my phone's been weird. But tell Chicken Hawk he needs to pay attention.
Okay, I got one from you. Let's see. The last one I got from you says that the tornado is east of Florence, Mississippi, headed toward Polkville. If it stays together, Forrest will be next in line. So that's what you meant, because he's always talking about being from, as he says, Forrest.
Yeah, but I got a couple questions while I'm on though.
Okay.
One, what do you think about Ole Miss if their defense is any better? And 2, what do you think about Emory Jones? And I'll hang up and listen since other folks are on the phone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Ole Miss is going to have a good football team. They're coached well, got a quarterback to build it around. I think, they'll show you that, this past year. I mean, Elijah Moore was a star for them, but I don't think they're dependent on him. Don't they have, what's his kid's name that's still there? Sanders? Do I have that right? They've got some pieces of the puzzle, and they should be better on defense. So they're going to have a good team. There ain't no question. They're going to have a pretty good football team, or have a chance to. They're a lot like State. They have a chance to be a pretty good team, and there's about 2 to 3 positions where you got to keep people healthy. If you don't, it could trail off on you. But I think got a chance to be pretty good. All right, Ryan on line 2 with a weather update. Is that or what you got for me, Ryan?
Yeah, it's bad over here. It just started coming down really bad. My lights just went out.
All right, you're in Vicksburg?
Yep.
Okay. Have you heard, is it just thunderstorm or is it worse?
It's a thunderstorm and the wind's starting to pick up pretty bad. We're under a tornado watch.
Okay. Oh, you are a tornado watch. Okay. And
a severe thunderstorm warning.
Right now you can tell it's bad because now the deer right behind the house are starting to run in to the woods right now.
Yeah.
It's ugly out here.
Yeah, I tell you what, and the radar shows that too. It is just, it is pretty amazing. When you look at the radar, you have a long line of storms that is directly over the Mississippi River coming across right now. The leading edge is coming across the Mississippi River right now from Baton Rouge all the way to Memphis. It covers the entire western border of the state of Mississippi. So anybody on the border, like Greenville's getting popped, and it's all headed our way, and it's stretching up towards Memphis. The top part of this is kind of like a little farther east, and so here where I am in the Tupelo area, we're about to get the leading edge of it up here within probably the next 30 minutes. Hey, hang in there, Ryan. Stay safe. Thank you, buddy.
Whoa.
What happened? Brian, you there?
Yeah, we lost him there.
Dadgummit.
Don't know what that was.
Don't know what that was. Something
could have been
happened.
some lightning. That could be what it was.
Yeah, could have been. I hope that's all it was. Ryan, if you have us, call us back. Let us know you're okay. But it looks rough. As far as, it looks like it's moving pretty fast. And what you don't know is those little pockets. You got the pop-up storms happening all over the state, kind of out in front of this big system. And what you don't know, Bill, is like, when do you get those little pockets where the wind kind of has that shear of it goes against each other, and all of a sudden you get those tornadoes that pop up.
Hook echo, they call it.
Hook echo. Not what you want to hear when you turn on your local weatherman, is it?
No.
You know, the hook echo. That's tough. Yeah. Well, everybody hunker down, be safe. Like I said, if you're hearing my voice right now, then in our listening area, Jackson Metro, if certain warnings pop up, you will automatically hear them, which is good. If we see or hear of anything else, tornado warnings, things like that, we'll pass it along. Just talked to Ryan, who's in Vicksburg, and said the wind was really starting to get up. Now, Jason, he's out in Flagstaff, but he's Mississippian by heart, and he is tracking it online. And he was talking about that he had a line that was saying there could have been a tornado headed towards Forest, and he told me that tornado warning, that tornado warned storm that he was telling Chicken Hawk about has fallen apart. For now, the rotation is gone. But again, you look at the radar. I'm not a weatherman, but you look at the radar, and you can see, Jason, it's like 1,000 different pop-ups that they're there, and then they go away. And then it pops up here, and then it goes away. And it's just, you never know when one of those forms a little bit, and then it gets up against this system that's coming in here. And the next thing you know, we get a little rotation. That's the scary thing. So
all about living in the South, Matt.
Hey, there's no way to avoid it, is it? This time of year, it's just part of life around here. All right, y'all hunker down, be safe. We'll get through it together. Got a few more minutes with you here. In hour 3 of the show, I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Stay with me.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
For double enjoyment, reach for Beech Nut Peppermint Gum. It sparkles your smile, your breath, your whole sense of enjoyment. Beech Nut Peppermint in the familiar yellow pack.
Jeans do come true. Blue Delta Jeans makes the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world. Let's dive in and see what we have here. Do what I did. Visit BlueDeltaJeans.com. Find your fit. Just for my listeners, enter discount code Matt Wyatt. Just answer the questions. BlueDeltaJeans.com. Answer the questions. Use this code. Use the code. You're going to get a discount. They are the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn.
Farm Bureau Insurance stands ready to provide financial relief to our communities in this time of crisis. This includes a one-time credit to all personal auto policyholders, a donation of $500,000 to the Mississippi Food Network, and additional payment options for those hit the hardest, all while continuing to service customer claims as well. But this is the time to go above and beyond. These are a few ways we're keeping the Farm Bureau promise. To learn more, talk to your agent or visit us online. Go with the home team.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you a little bit about C Spire. New stuff in 2021, including 5G coverage. If you go to their website right now, cspire.com, you're going to see their no bull, which, by the way, I love the Super Bowl ad with the slow motion bull. You're going to see that on the website. But look, they're right. There's been a lot of bull over the years in your wireless bill, depending on if who you were with. And my experience with C Spire is just like they say, there's no bull. I know what it's going to cost me each month. I know what my coverage is the number one coverage in Mississippi, period, the number one network. And they've got 5G phones that are 5G ready. Now, I have the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, got it at C Spire, went and did curbside at my local C Spire location and did the exchange where I traded in my old one, got the new one, and it's 5G capable. And we've got 5G coverage in parts of Mississippi, and it's just growing by the day. So you really ought to check that out, okay? And in terms of the new phones, you got deals going on those as well. Find those out at cspire.com. C Spire, customer inspired.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Every farmer understands their farm can't thrive without some good partners like sun, soil, and rain. And farmers in North Mississippi also rely on another important partner, Mississippi Land Bank, because land and farm financing are Mississippi Land Bank's primary focus. We've grown alongside these farmers' crops for more than 100 years. We understand what a farmer needs, and we know the lay of the land in North Mississippi, and that's where I stand.
A lot of people in the equipment world, things kind of go in trends, I guess, if you want to say it. So kind of the first big thing that we look at when we start evaluating our business is going to be our turf equipment. That's kind of the first big push, because once everything, the water dries up and the grass starts growing, this is what everybody's looking to get. We carry the new Wright stand-up mower. Doesn't look like much, but this thing is, and it costs just as much as zero turn. Not a cheap unit at all. I mean, if you go out there and look at that zero turn, this thing right here, I mean, it's got all your components from your big pumps to your commercial engine to your large steel deck. And these guys were the first ones to make the standard mower.
Better buy Bird's Eye. Better buy Bird's Eye.
Yes, always look for this Bird's Eye Bird, your guarantee of top quality frozen food. And your big Bird's Eye buy this week is Bird's Eye Orange Juice. Easy, you can serve it in a minute. Thrifty, it will save you money. Orchard fresh and delicious.
Better buy Bird's Eye.
The Zone.
All right, back with you. A little hard to concentrate on sports and things like that when you have a weather situation potentially that could be dangerous. So we were on the phone with Ryan. He told us that they had a limb fall down in the yard.
Matt?
Yes.
We have a tornado warning now from Madison and Yazoo counties until 3:22.
Until 3:22. Okay, so you're talking about the next hour?
Yeah, that's what it's saying right now. They always extend it out a little bit, and then they'll cancel it if they have to. That's for Madison and Yazoo.
Okay, so the winds are pretty rough right now. Madison and Yazoo, tornado warning.
Correct.
Okay, for the next hour. Ryan's in Vicksburg, and he said that they are getting pummeled right now. He said they had a big limb fall. Saints fan SBO9 is on Periscope. He's letting us know that he saw on the Weather Channel just now 87 mile per hour winds west of Yazoo City moving northeast. Jason in Philadelphia getting good rain and wind. This entire thing is like it's just coming across the entire state of Mississippi with really heavy winds, lots of lightning. And then, of course, like Bill told you, we've got some warnings going on. There are some Twitter accounts out here that I wish I had gone ahead and done this, but I'll try to do it now. I know there are some Twitter accounts out here that are for tracking weather. If y'all know what those are, give me a heads up. I'm sure that there's, different ones. Yeah, MS. Let's see here. Checking Mississippi weather. I don't know if that's going to be it. Regardless, we'll see what I can find out here in a short amount of time. Just because it's about to get thick. Again, anybody's if you've looked at the, if you have looked at the radar, I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so it's a hashtag MSWX as in Mississippi weather. Okay, I think I've found it here. National Weather Service in Jackson.
Yeah, we're on a break here right now because the thing just broke into us there, man.
Yeah, it's breaking in. Okay. Well, I've got some people that
you can still keep on talking because people are still hearing you. So.
Yeah, and I've got some here on the live stream tuning in also. So I'm looking at this. National Weather Service Jackson issued severe thunderstorm warning until 3:45 for Rankin, Simpson, Smith, Scott, Hines, Northern Copiah, and then parts of Madison County. Okay, until 3:45. That'd be the most recent thunderstorm warning. I'm trying to find that. Let's look at this. Here we go. Yeah, they're getting rain in Biloxi too. It's like the entire state. Tornado warning has been issued for Southern Holmes County, Southwest Attala, Northeast Yazoo, Northeast Madison counties until 3:15. It says quickly moving to the east at 50 miles per hour. Heads up. Take shelter if you live in and around Benton, Midway, Ebenezer, Vaughn, Pickens, Goodman. Complex storm, winds of 80 miles per hour.
Yeah, it looks like Pickens and Salis and all them are in the brunt right now. They're going that way up in Holmes County.
In Holmes County? Okay.
Yeah.
We had a report of potentially life-threatening, damaging winds moving east throughout Mississippi. Anywhere in that corridor, which we're talking about, Jackson Metro, need to shelter if at all possible. The same as you would approach a tornado because of the winds. Loss of power, down trees, flooding possible. In some areas, they are calling them hurricane force winds. Of course, you're talking about 80 miles per hour. That's what that means. Bass Dog, he's in Canton. He texted the show and said, in Canton, it's eerily calm and stormy looking. If you could see a radar, you'd know.
The calm before the storm.
Yeah.
But Madison and Yazoo County are still under tornado warning until 3:22, it says.
Okay, until 3:22. Damaging winds to 80 miles per hour possible. Possible tornadoes. That's for most of Mississippi as this thing moves across. A few minutes ago, Patrick Ellis from WLBT said brief spin up risk along this line that's moving through Yazoo County near the Little Yazoo. The initial circular part of this was nearing US 49, but initial circulations could form. Anytime you get 80-mile-an-hour winds, it can happen fast. All right. New tornado warning for Yazoo, Madison, Holmes, Attala counties until 3:15 p.m. A tweet from Jacob Lanier from WJTV says extreme 100-mile-per-hour rotating winds are pushing their way toward Vaughn, Pickens, and Camden. Seek shelter immediately. Going to kind of keep an eye on it and see what they are saying on a few of these weather services as they continue to update it minute by minute. Saints fan.
You're now the weather guy.
Yeah. I guess, doing the best we can.
Yeah, you can't really talk sports when there's a tornado in the area.
Yeah, don't even care about it. Sports right now. Saints fan SBO9 said, the line from Macomb to Oxford, massive winds coming across the state. Anybody that has looked at that radar, you'll see that, you just don't see it like that very often. And that is a line of storms and wind and a system like that stretches literally from Louisiana into central Tennessee. One straight line coming across the state of Mississippi. Another report showed that radar worded it this way: a line of severe thunderstorms capable of producing intense winds will move through Mississippi, Alabama, and eventually Georgia over the next few hours. That lets you know how fast it's moving. You do have some pop-up tornadoes according to radar and the weather service in certain spots around Mississippi. Here's one 1 minute ago. It said spin up tornado along the leading edge north of Bolton. That is from 1 minute ago.
Just got a call from a gentleman traveling up 49 near Live Oaks Golf Course.
Yep.
And he was pelted by dime-size hail.
Okay. So you got hail coming out of the leading edge of this stuff also. Now it's extended a little farther east. Severe thunderstorm warning for Winston County in Mississippi until 3:15. Right there. Winston County has been added to it. Possible pop-up rotation southeast of Brownsville. They are saying, some of the folks that are following this at hashtag MSWX, as in Mississippi weather, that they are saying it looks like a tornado just touched down near Brownsville, Mississippi. No tornado warning currently, but that's how fast this thing is moving. Hey, where is Brownsville, Bill? Are you familiar with where that might be?
No, but I can check on it for you.
Okay, I'm just curious, where that might be. And that was within a minute, within the last, minute that we saw that. See if we have any updates. Brownsville, JB texted me.
Yeah, it's on Highway 22 in northern Hinds County.
Okay, northern
12
Hinds
miles
County.
southwest of Flora.
Okay, northern Hinds County. All right. Trying to look here again to see the most recent warnings. I know we'll get those, and some of those will go out automatically as they continue to pop up and change right now. Tornado warning for Hinds, Madison, Rankin County in Mississippi until 3 p.m. That's where you are right now. Okay, it's moved it to 3 p.m. What's interesting about this bill, just a quick comment on it. If you notice, the warnings for this area were out there until about 3:30 almost. But it keeps shortening because the thing, I think, is moving through here so quickly.
Yeah, my phone just went off for the one here in Hinds County.
So you just got that warning because you're sitting there right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sitting here in Hinds County right now. So.
Okay, severe thunderstorm warning for Winston. And then tornado warning, Hinds, Madison, Rankin County in Mississippi until 3 p.m. If you are listening, I got your text coming in on the Country Pleasing text line. Also on the live stream, Saints Fan SB09 is letting us know where Brownsville was. Highway 22 west of Ridgeland. Thank you. Continue to look at that. Got your text coming in also. Somebody told me that they did have a tornado near the Live Oaks area on 49.
Right,
and that text, just north of Jackson, which that came through just less than a minute ago. Get in a safe place. If you're in the Jackson Metro, get in a safe place immediately. And we'll be right back.
You hear the name Ben Nelson. I know you think of golf and golf utility vehicles, and you should. We have the best brands and names in the business. But at B&G, we are much, much more. We sell top-of-the-line outdoor power equipment, great for the homeowner or small business owner. Our Husqvarna and Hustler lines are top-notch. From zero-turn mowers, blowers, edgers, pressure washers, and more. We want to make your job or property smile this year. Financing options are available. So learn more by calling 601-664-7117 or head over to bennelson.com and click the inventory tabs. And let's get that project or home looking great this year, courtesy of Ben Nelson Golf and Outdoors.
Local, fresh food from quality people. That's Corner Market's promise to you. With 3 locations in Jackson, including Belhaven and Fondren, Corner Market is here to take the stress of feeding your family off the table. Corner Market provides premium products, including gluten-free, natural, and organic products. Corner Market also provides hot deli meals, including meats and cheeses from Boar's Head. Fresh, quality food from local people. Corner Market, a special place to shop.
By now, you've heard all of our ads. America's largest injury law firm. But what does that really mean for our clients, for you? It means that when you hire us, you don't just get a lawyer, you get a legal army.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Arrived today. Jeans do come true. Thank you, Blue Delta. Yeah, jeans do come true. That's what the bag says. Blue Delta Jeans makes the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world because they are uniquely made for you and only you. raw denim jeans, custom fit, hand-tailored in Tupelo, Mississippi, my hometown. Let's dive in and see what we have here. Do what I did. Visit BlueDeltaJeans.com. Find your fit, design a jean, and before you know it, you'll be addicted. Just for my listeners, enter discount code Matt Wyatt, all lowercase. Again, that's if you listen to me, you can use discount code Matt Wyatt, all lowercase, and at checkout, you're going to get a 10% discount off your order. So I just went online, ordered them, BlueDeltaJeans.com. A couple weeks ago, went in, I didn't go get measured. I just entered, what I knew about myself. I just answered the questions, and here they are at my doorstep a couple weeks later. Nice. Yeah, Blue Delta. Nice. I'm happy. I've known the Blue Delta team for years, and I'm thrilled to have these guys on as a sponsor of this show. Blue Delta's Virtual Tailor is a fun and easy way to get yourself into the best fitting pair of jeans you're ever going to own. Bet you never thought you'd get a butt shot out of me, huh? How about that? Just answer the questions and they fit absolutely perfectly. They couldn't fit better. So just go online, BlueDeltaJeans.com, answer the questions. It's amazing how they do it. They will fit perfectly. You're not going to find better material and better feeling pants, period, anywhere. BlueDeltaJeans.com. Use this code. Use the code. You're going to get a discount. They are the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. I promise you that. And I know that you are going to love them too. Make sure you use the code. And remember, jeans do come true.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Let me tell you about an ice cream can't be beat.
The very best tasting you can eat.
It's Meadow, 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 Meadow Smooth Freeze Meadow Gold. Go to your ice cream man today, and here's the word that you should say. Oh, give me Meadow, Meadow, Meadow Smooth Freeze Meadow Gold. And remember, folks, Meadow Gold
is mighty good.
For double enjoyment, reach for Beech Nut Peppermint Gum. It sparkles your smile, your breath, your whole sense of enjoyment. Beech Nut Peppermint in the familiar yellow pack.
6 o'clock, dinner time. Thank goodness for Jell-O Instant Pudding.
Yes, thank goodness for Jell-O Instant Pudding. The terrific busy day dessert you can make at the very last minute. See how quick and easy. Just add it to cold milk and beat it up. That's all. By the time you're ready to eat it, it's all ready for you. Jell-O Instant Pudding, made by the famous Jell-O folks. So creamy, so nourishing, so delicious. No other instant pudding is quite the same. Stock your shelves with all 7 flavors. The good busy day dessert. Jell-O Instant Pudding.
Radio on ESPN 105.9. The Zone.
All right, back with you. The last thing I saw here within the last minute or so, you've seen reports of a radar-confirmed tornado on track to pass north of the Jackson, Mississippi metro area. That warning encompasses an area that you got about 300,000 people in that area. Get in a safe place right now if you can hear my voice, especially if you're Jackson Metro or East or Northeast. A minute ago, we had a tweet that said if you're expected to go home from work in the next hour in the Jackson Metro area, delay your trip home. Possible tornado along with winds up to 75 miles per hour heading your way. In that kind of wind, cars are not safe. From one of the meteorologists and instructor researcher at Mississippi State University, Craig Cece, this line of storms means serious business. Confirmed tornado. 2 minutes ago, tweeted confirmed tornado as well west of Ridgeland entering the Jackson Metro. 2:35 p.m. Central Time, 10 minutes ago, confirmed tornado was located near Pocahontas or near Clinton, moving east at 65 miles per hour. Radar confirmed tornado. More on the warnings. Tornado warning in effect until 3:15 for Holmes, Yazoo, Atala, Madison. Seek shelter on the lowest floor of a sturdy structure right now. 15 seconds ago. Now 2 minutes ago from Jacob Lanier from WJTV. Confirmed tornado tracking into North Jackson right now. Minutes away from Tougaloo. East over, eventually the Flowood areas. Seek shelter now. Severe thunderstorm warnings for Newton, Scott, and Smith County in Mississippi. This line of storms, it's thunderstorms at best. Okay, moving east throughout the entire state of Mississippi at a rapid speed. We've had tweets from weather professionals of winds to 75 miles per hour, 80 miles per hour. We had a tornado spotted at one time, probably now 5 minutes ago, in the Clinton area, Live Oaks area, but now everything's moving up and east. I will remind you. So that's 4 minutes ago from local meteorologist Jacob Lanier on Twitter, a confirmed tornado tracking into North Jackson right now, minutes away from Tougaloo, east over, eventually the Flowood areas. Seek shelter now. 21 seconds ago, Clinton Public Schools will hold students and delay dismissal until the strongest of storms move past Hinds County. Richland schools have canceled all after-school activities. From spotters, everybody in the Jackson, Mississippi area needs to take cover immediately. That was 45 seconds ago. These storms have hurricane-force winds, can easily damage property. From weather and climatology, a tornado warning has been issued for areas in and around Jackson, Mississippi. If you live in the path of this dangerous storm, take shelter immediately. Meteorologist in Biloxi, line of severe storms getting organized as they cross the Mississippi River. Damaging winds will be the main threat as they race towards South Mississippi. It'll be after 4 p.m. in areas on the coast and south of Jackson. In Vicksburg, lots of damage and trees down. I got texts coming in like crazy, family and elsewhere. Vicksburg schools, they're not letting anybody leave school right now. Getting reports of trees down in neighborhoods, throughout entire neighborhoods in the Vicksburg area. Could have possibly been a tornado, could have been straight line winds. National Weather Service, Jackson, Mississippi on Twitter. 57 seconds ago, severe thunderstorm warning continues for Winona, Mississippi, Duck Hill, Mississippi, Sweatman, Mississippi until 3:15 p.m. You've got severe thunderstorm warnings continuing for Durant and Lexington and Vaden until 3:15. Severe thunderstorm warnings including Forest, Newton, and Decatur until 3:30. 3 minutes ago, you had a severe thunderstorm warning continuing for Canton, Kosciuszko, and Carthage until 3:15. You've got the warnings now over to Newton County, a severe thunderstorm warning issued for Newton County, Mississippi. Okay, 21 seconds ago, a report of a confirmed tornado, central Rankin County, northeast Hinds. These are warnings now. Central Rankin County, Northeast Hines, Southwest Madison County, Central Mississippi until 3 p.m. That's 10 more minutes. At 2:43, you had a confirmed tornado located near Jackson, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Depending on where you are, folks in Clinton right now saying that it looks like what they're calling the squall line had passed them in Clinton. Lots of reports of damage, including awnings down, certain structures and trees down. As I told you, trees down throughout neighborhoods in Vicksburg. Clinton holding students for now. Nobody's leaving yet. Same thing going on in Vicksburg right now. Um, 27 seconds ago, meteorologist Casey Cloud, potentially very dangerous wind gusts moving into Jackson. In addition, a tornado has been confirmed by radar near Jackson. You have a thunderstorm warning has been issued for Smith County. Thunderstorm warning issued for Scott County. 35 seconds ago from Jacob Lanier, possible tornado moving into downtown Jackson, Mississippi. Debris confirmed on radar. You are hearing the sirens right now. The tornado is rain-wrapped and near Fondren. That's 35 seconds ago from Jacob Lanier at WJTV. Get in a safe place if you can hear my voice. Being caught an extremely intense line of thunderstorms moving east across Mississippi. Winds in excess of 80 miles per hour is possible with these storms. We are getting shots now from downtown Jackson cameras, from local news stations. If you have a way to look at those, great. If not, I'll tell you what I see, and that is extreme winds and rain. And this is a huge system. You've got a tornado watch that's been issued for parts of Arkansas, parts of Louisiana, and Mississippi until 6 p.m. That's, the widespread, parts of it all the way through 6 p.m. I just got a text from my man JB. The Natchez Trace is not passable. There's a tree down on the Trace between 49 and 55. Y'all know right where that is. Over there in the Clinton area. There's a tree down on the Trace. Well, I say in the Clinton area. You know what I'm talking about. Between 49 and 55. The Trace is not passable right now. If you can hear my voice, get in a safe place. We will do our best to update you as best we can. Let your loved ones know if they are in the path of this storm. But you've got damage in areas that has gone through. You've got strong winds in Jackson now. We'll continue to update you when we come back. I'm Matt Wyatt.
This portion of the Matt Wyatt Show is brought to you by Ameristar Casino in Vicksburg. We still have all the big screens, so you can catch all the action regardless of sport. So make